Hey everyone, welcome to Primary Market Chatter, brought to you by Sunday Investing. This is our July 5th week IPOs episode, and we have a house full after a long time where all of us are here. Yes, I'm still trying to figure out how to add, but he'll also be joining. So Tanmay is here, Yash is here, Rohit is here, and then we also have Sachin here, who has recently joined us and is a terrific speaker and reviewer of companies. So very happy to have a full house after a long time because we understand we had a few conflicting priorities. So it's good to see कि सब लोग आज join कर पाए. But as we grow and scale up, the idea would be to try and make it a platform where it is enlist like independent. So we'll continue to revolve amongst ourselves the issues. जिस दिन जो ज्वाइन कर पाएगा वो ज्वाइन करेगा बट majorly the idea would be to try and continue to review IPOs unbiased from our understanding without the GMP. That is what our thought process is, and we'll kind of continue on that trend. With that, let me just get started and set up what we are planning to do today. July 5th week is a very interesting week because we have some 16 IPOs, and I don't think I have ever seen so many IPOs in 1 week. Like कुछ 7 Mainboard IPO and no SME IPO हैं, which are coming this week. So we are in for a buffet. We need to be very careful in terms of, because I'm sure everyone has limited liquidity, right? So we need to see which one to apply to, how to kind of rotate the money which IPOs to apply to, and how to kind of rotate it back into another IPOs. We'll see how as and when we kind of review those IPOs. But the idea would be कि आज 6 IPOs कर लेंगे हम, जिससे कि आई थिंक वेडनेसडे तक के आईपीओस कवर हो जाएंगे. छोटे एसएमई शायद हम ना करें बिकॉज अगेन इट्स जस्ट सो मेनी आईपीओस दैट we might skip a few this week. We'll review all main boards for sure, and SMEs also we'll majorly try and review at least the ones which are big or have some kind of interest from public. But let us know which all SMEs would you want us to review next. लाइक पार्ट 2 करेंगे स्पेस का. उसमें जो आपको एसएमई इस हफ्ते में इंटरेस्ट हो ना, वो आप कमेंट्स में डाल दो कि ये एसएमई जरूर रिव्यू करें. मेन बोर्ड हम सब कर देंगे, बट एसएमई क्योंकि 5 मेन बोर्ड हमको नेक्स्ट पार्ट 2 में करने हैं, बिकॉज एनएसडीएल इज देयर, लोटस इज देयर, then Aditya Infotech, CP Plus is there, Lakshmi is there, and then there's one more which I'm kind of forgetting. But yeah, there are 7 main boards, out of which 5 we have to do in the second part, which is I think M&B engineering. So वो 5 करेंगे तो उसके बाद SMEs के लिए ना बहुत ज्यादा जगह नहीं बचेगी comparatively. But if you think that there are interesting SMEs in part 2 which we are not covering today, well, we are trying to cover almost all SMEs in today itself. But let us know. Setting up, what we'll do is हम आज 6 companies की बात करेंगे. We'll talk about 2 main boards. Which is your Brigade Hotels, which is closing tomorrow, and then Shanti Gold, which is closing day after. उसके अलावा 4 SMEs की बात करेंगे, very interesting SMEs in the first batch. We'll talk about Sellowrap, Shree Refrigerations, Patel Chem, which is all closing on Tuesday day after, and then Repono की बात करेंगे, which will close on Wednesday. And in fact, we'll probably start with Repono, then we'll see. We'll kind of keep the order slightly flexible, but yeah, we'll kind of review all the IPOs in one go. Just a couple of housekeeping announcements. I understand it's getting late, but one more thing, if you haven't heard us before, just want to make sure that I highlighted that we are not SEBI registered. Anything we say is not a qualified opinion, just 5 friends now chatting. So think of it this way. Do not consider our opinion as qualified. Definitely आप अपनी ड्यू डिलिजेंस करें एंड उसके बेसिस पे ही डिसीजन लें. एनीथिंग दैट यू डू, कंसल्ट ईदर योर फाइनेंशियल एडवाइजर or you read more and only use this as a guidance, or even don't use it as a guidance, whatever. Basically, all I want to say is that do your due diligence well. Second thing, if you haven't joined our YouTube channel, हम ये spaces record करके वहां भी डाल देते हैं. Go ahead and join them. There is more to come on YouTube channel. We are still in the works. I had read one comment on what more can come on it. So we are still working on a YouTube product. We'll see how it evolves. Give us a month's time, give or take. But yeah, we'll come more on that. With that, let me just quickly get started. What we'll do is we'll kind of start with Repono Limited. Setting up the company, incorporated in 2017. The company is a warehousing and logistics company specializing in storage solutions for oil and petrochemical sectors. It offers a comprehensive range of services including warehousing, secondary transportation and logistics support catering to industries such as petrochemicals, oil and gas, lube oil and specialty chemicals. थोड़ा सा एजेस वो पैक जैसी वाइब आ रही है एट अ वेरी हाई लेवल, ऑल्दो आई अंडरस्टैंड उसकी कैपेबिलिटी बहुत ज्यादा सुपीरियर है कंपेयर टू दिस, बट एटलीस्ट द सेगमेंट एट अ वेरी हाई लेवल इट सीम्स लाइक द सेम. In terms of the IPO, it's a 27 crore IPO, 27 crore का IPO, all of which is a fresh issue. Market cap 99 CR पे आ रहा है, so they're diluting the minimum 26.5%. फाइनेंशियल्स की बात करूं तो FY25 में कंपनी ने 51.5 CR का टॉप लाइन किया है एंड 5.15 CR का पैट किया है. So it's coming at like 19 to 20 P, which at least for a plain vanilla logistics is too high. We'll try and understand कि इसमें कुछ मोट है क्या logistics में, because of which the PAT seems high. LM नया है, Wealth Mind Networks करके. I haven't seen any of their IPOs till date. But yeah, with that, maybe I'll hand it over to you, Sachin, to talk about Repono Limited.
Am I audible?
Yes.
Yep. Okay. So, Repono Limited is established in February 2017, is a specialized provider of solids warehousing and liquid terminal solutions for oil and petrochemical sector. Mr. Divyendu and Mr. Sankalp are at the heart of the business. Each bring over 25 years of experience, having held key positions in companies like Reliance, ONGC, Indian Oil, Naira, etc. Repono delivers cost-competitive, high-quality consultancy, engineering, and value-added services. And clients include IOCL, HPCL, MRPL, Deepak Phenolics, etc. Their asset-light warehouse strategy helps invest in leased warehouses, and they generally take contracts only when clients upfront ensure that 70 to 80% of the volume would be fulfilled, which helps in minimizing the vacancy risk. Occasionally, they also provide non-core transport services for over-dimensional cargo upon customer request. Among the sites they operate, some projects include, like for crude oil terminals, it's Oil India's Assam facility. For petrol and diesel, it's MRPL's Mangalore terminal. For lube oil, they are handling IOCL's Chennai facility, which is the largest in Asia. They do complete handling, storage, receipt collection, blending, packaging, and dispatch of the materials at these sites. They also handle chemical tanks for Deepak Phenolics for hazardous chemicals like phenol, acetone, benzene, propane, etc. Further, they are diversified into carbon black and melamine also for clients like HPCL, Mittal, and Epsilon Carbon. Currently, their strategy is asset light, so they operate in leased warehouses in Mundra and Bhiwandi, 2 lakh square feet. They further plan to raise it to 20 lakh square feet in high consumption areas, Ahmedabad, Kanpur, Gurgaon, etc. Some exclusive tie-ups they have with Schmidt from Germany, which is the largest bulk polymer handling company. They collaborate with Schmidt for warehouse design and engineering. They also have tie-ups with Aventus, which is a leader in polymer packaging, and it helps in form, fill, seal packaging lines. Repono holds exclusive rights to sell and maintain their equipment in India. And these are generally 3 to 4 year partnerships, and they are generally extended as and when needed. They normally handle 5 to around 5 million tons of volumes in both solids and liquids. They also have a warehouse management system which helps in streamlining hefty documentation needed at the customs and compliance ports. So, and their emphasis is on single point responsibility, which actually means that until the whole of operations, manpower, and equipment are not part of the contract, so generally Repono avoids such contracts. Now, a pertinent question is why these refineries and PSUs would outsource these works to Repono. So, they said that this outsourcing work is not the core for these refineries, and it also helps save cost for them around 20 to 25%. Plus, government has also mandated to outsource such work. So that is why Repono is preferred. Now, the general notion that since clients are PSUs, the payments would be delayed, but actually the case is not that. Private payments are delayed. PSUs are still general in line, though initial project can get delayed and start up to 90 days, while payments may arrive in 60 days only. And receivables are not an issue, with 90% receivables within the 6 months period. Coming to the revenues, 93% revenues come from operations and maintenance contracts, 5% from consultancy. Warehouse rental is at 3% currently. 90% are on-site operations and 10% are off-site. So in off-site, they go for leased warehouses, which gives them higher margins and better control for the projects. Their goal is to go for a 50-50 on-site, off-site revenue mix in upcoming years. They are also diversifying further into specialty chemicals and green hydrogen, ammonia, as and when the facilities come live. They are also targeting overseas for Saudi Arabia, UAE, Oman, etc. And they said that project is expected in the current year if the talks get finalized. They achieved a significant milestone in regards to safety by achieving zero lost time injuries in almost 7 million man hours conducted. So that is one thing to note. Coming to the financials, 13 CR revenues with 8% PAT in FY23, 34 CR revenues with almost 18% EBITDA and 12% PAT in FY24. And then it jumped to around 51.5 CR revenues and 5.1 CR PAT in FY25. Slightly reduced than FY24, but not majorly. And current year they are projecting around 72 to 74 CR in revenues. Yes, for FY26 with similar margins. They have an order book of around 160 CR, which is executable over 2.5 to 3 years. Yes, 2.5 to 3 years. They are also in discussions with two major Indian companies for build on operate projects, which is BOO projects, around 400 to 500 CR, but that will be announced when those are finalized. Only 10 CR in major debt and bank guarantees, so nothing on that front. IPO proceeds are for purchasing forklifts as material handling equipment to reduce the dependency on third party and boosting the margins. They are also upgrading their warehouse management system for real-time tracking. Around 9 CR is for working capital and around 2 CR is for warehouse racking system, which will also enhance storage efficiency. Coming to the risk, the hazardous materials that they handle is a risk. At times, the labor is also a risk, though they have around 500 employees on payroll and equally on contractual basis as well. They generally bid in tenders with large players, so they can be outdone on that front as well at times. Potential foreign entrants may pose some threats, but nothing immediate as the setup cost will be large and high. So nothing immediate for Repono at this moment. Finally, on the pricing, it's at 19 times FY25 and near 14 times FY26 as what the growth they project. In peers, Aegis is at around 39 to 40 times, but is largely into gas and petroleum products. TVS Logistics is profitable at standalone level and is at around 80p, but due to consolidation and not so good UK entity business, it is showing negative PAT. So it's that way. And another small player is RV, which is around 15p, but it operates at 3 to 4% EBITDA. There is also unlisted player IMC Limited, which is primarily into liquids, but at much larger scale and operates at 35% EBITDA, but it's unlisted for now. So these players generally bid in tenders along with Repono, but they are more asset heavy and Repono is currently asset light. Lead manager is Wealthmine, which is based out of Mumbai, so probably their first mandate. Anchor list was decent, had the name of Mr. Amit Kumar from MSME X Growbiz Fund and Smart Horizon as well. So in the end, it's the board is very professional and the management is as well. I didn't find any IPO year dressing in financial as well. And this is not typical logistics, so definitely involves technical expertise, not something that everyone can do. As experience and is also needed, and they have dual expertise in handling solids and liquids both. So no players like this in at least in SME, no player like this is available. That's all.
Got it. एक बार सचिन, very high level इसका order book कितना है? And like how competitive is the industry? I'm assuming there will be a lot of these small players, right? Because they do not have any asset there, right? कि जहाँ पे storage वगैरह होता हो. It's just they tend to do the logistics at the ports, right? So it's a very competitive industry from my understanding. So जो इतना order book है उतना
Yes.
ही मैं अभी मान सकता हूँ, right? Revenue, is that correct?
For now, yes, because they bid in tenders. So as and when they win more tenders, more revenue, more orders, so more revenue will flow in. Currently, order book is around 160 CR for 2.5 to 3 years. Other players that are available, these are fragmented players. So some would do only liquids, some would do only solids, but Repono does both. So that is an advantage.
Got it. And 160 CR का order book है. So there is visibility in terms of business being there, right? So like because I was seeing revenue is 51.
Yes.
And PAT margin
In
थोड़ा सा increase हुआ है in IPO year, but I'm assuming it's not too much, right? Like PAT margins, EBITDA margins went from 6% to 8%. उसका कुछ specific reasoning?
no FY25, it's reduced PAT and EBITDA slightly. No specific reason, just due to some material and employee expenses. That's all.
Got it, got it. Yep. I read it wrong, my bad. Yeah, but do you think like at a very high level, and again, in the interest of time, at 19p, do you think enough value left on the table? Because not plain vanilla logistics, I understand, but how do you see it against, let's say, like, do you compare it to a Aegis, which is a much bigger peer, not the BOPEC, but the traditional Aegis Logistics is in similar business. So, how do you look at
Uh,
it in terms of peer, and where do you see is there enough value?
I think some value is there, but it's up to the investors to see it as not general logistics. But pricing is decent, not very low, but not too high as well. So
Got it.
some gap is left.
Got it. Plus, what I'm seeing is कि छोटा IPO है, 30 CR IPO है. So if
Mhm.
there is 26 CR IPO, in fact, so if there's enough like interest, then it can do well simply because of the small size. एक और question before we move forward. I'm reading at a high level that there's a lot of bonus issue done in the share. And then this is maybe generally to everyone. How does bonus impact? उसमें लिखा हुआ है कि बार बार bonus हुआ है. Like they've issued 49:1 and then 4:1. So they've issued like 200 shares for every one share. So that's a negative. But how does that impact, right? End of the day, it's like how does that impact your
No,
holding?
no impact because before IPO, both these Mr. Dibyendu and Sankalp only had the whole holding and no prior dilution. So I don't see any impact.
Exactly, right? It's just that they've brought the share price to a lower
Yes,
number. That is why they've done bonus,
yes,
right? It shouldn't impact
yes,
anything, right?
yes.
Got it. Got it. Yeah, that was with respect to Repono. It's on 30th. Unfortunately, it's a good company. I will be avoiding because I have so many companies to apply on 29th that I don't think I'll have money on 30th. And we'll talk about Brigade, but I don't think Brigade money. I will put a lot in Brigade, so it won't be able, like I won't be able to use that as well. But yeah, we'll talk about it. We'll see. With that, let me just move forward to the second company. We'll do it short as well. Sellowrap Industries, incorporated in 1983, the company engaged in the manufacturing of components for automotive and white goods sectors. It has four manufacturing units in Gurgaon, Ranipet, Kanchipuram, and Pune, and offers products like plastic injection molding parts, PU foam molding parts, etc. So, automobile components manufacturer है at a very high level, plastic molding करती है company. Maybe थोड़ा सा Shree की DLM याद दिला रही है, but we'll see. In terms of the IPO size, it's a 30 crore IPO, all of which is a fresh issue. Market cap 114 crores पे आ रही है, so they're diluting like 26%. FY25 financials की बात करूं तो 163 crores का revenue है कंपनी का और 10 crores का PAT है, so काफी decently valued, मतलब okay valued company. They have left something on the table at a high level. They are coming at like 11.4p, something like that, 11.5p. LM is Greatex, which is a decent LM, not great, not bad. But yeah, with that, over to you, Yash, to talk about Sellowrap.
Yes, cool. So, Sellowrap Industries is a manufacturing company. They are mainly specializing in the production of customized components for the automotive and non-automotive industry. The company operates in the B2B sectors, offering both additive and non-additive process components. They were originally formed as a proprietorship, but then converted into the private limited company. Uh, Majority of their products are screen sealing parts, plastic injection molding. Then there is films, which is PU foam molding, EPP molding, labels and stickers, and foam products. They supply to OEMs, tier 1 and tier 2 customers as well. OEM customers में इनके आते हैं मारुति सुजुकी, टाटा मोटर्स, किया मोटर्स, Hyundai, Mahindra Electric, and Volkswagen. Uh, Majority of the raw material is sourced from India. 4% is the chunk which they import from China. The company also exports to Brazil, China, Germany, Poland, UK, and UA. Majority of contributors of the turnovers, the company's turnovers in India are Maharashtra and Tamil Nadu. काफी concentrated sales है इनका. 99%, 98%, 96% सेल्स आता है टॉप 5 कस्टमर्स, टॉप 10 कस्टमर्स से. अगर बात करूं कंपनी का, तो ओवरऑल this is not a very good business, but a decent business. Company has been generating consistent positive cash flows from last 3 years. FY23 में 2 crores का कैश फ्लो था, 24 में 10 crores, 25 में 21 crores. तो decent cash flow generate कर रहा है. Return ratios are also expanding over the past 3 years. 9%, 17%, now 22%. Valuations का बात करें तो post issue 11.44 times पे FY25 पे आ रहा है, which is very good valuations given the sector trades at 20-25. Machino Plastics करके company है which is trading at 17 times right now, which is much more comparable to the company. The other company which is into toy manufacturing वगैरह, that is also an SME. उसका it's also trading in the same range. Then there is Shree, which is I think is in a higher range because of the higher growth. Given this company has been growing very slowly, FY24 में खाली almost 5% का growth था, FY25 में खाली 16-17% का growth हुआ है. Although their EBITDA and PAT margins have improved significantly, 13% EBITDA margin हो गया है from 6.67% FY20 comparing FY23 to FY25. PAT margins 2% से 6% तक आ चुके हैं. Inventory days is obviously going up. Debtor days is stable to 60-65 days. Their creditor days is going down. 62 से 52 के रेंज में आ चुका है अभी ऑलमोस्ट. वन गुड थिंग इज देयर एसेट टर्नओवर इज वेरी गुड. लास्ट 3 years का बात करूं तो ऑलमोस्ट 1 से ऊपर रहा है. FY23 में 1.42, 24 में 1.38 and FY25 में 1.14. Their capacity, the only issue is the capacity for the products which is the film wala part is going down. Should not be an issue until they're matching the same figures by increasing the plastic injection molding part. तो अभी FY25 में इनका injection molding से 54 crores का सेल हुआ था, PU फॉर्म मोल्डिंग से 5 crores का, फॉर्म लेबल एंड स्टिकर प्रोडक्ट से 45 crores का, स्किन सीलिंग पार्ट से 33 crores, तो एंड ब्रॉट आउट पार्ट से 21 crores. तो मोस्टली प्लास्टिक इंजेक्शन मोल्डिंग इज द मेजर चंक. Form, label, and sticker products is another major chunk, which is 45 crores. Then the third part is the brought out parts, which is 21 crores. Customers, जो segregation नहीं दिया है, but if I talk about the top 10 customers, they contribute 75% of the turnover. उसमें the first customer, which is the highest in terms of the turnover contributor, contributes 20%, customer 2 contributes 12%, and customer 3 contributes 7%. And if I talk about the relationship with these customers, so customer 1 के साथ they have a relationship period of 32 years, customer 2 के साथ 23 years, customer 3 के साथ 10 years, which is very, very good thing. And these are, they have also not mentioned specifically which OEMs and tier 1 suppliers are these, who are, मतलब जिनसे revenue bifurcation आया है. So this is, the issue is looking decently good to me. The only issue is कि how market will value this injection molding wala business. Their factory, I also saw the images of their factory and their RHP. It looks good to me, at least. So should be fine. There are not many global headwinds as well for this company, because majority of the OEM customers they have is Maruti Suzuki, Tata Motors, Kia, Hyundai, Mahindra Electric, which are the growing the growing companies in India, which is giving highest number of units in month by month. So the issue is priced at 11.5 times FY25. So I believe there is still much left on the table for us. So should be an apply.
You got it. Yeah, I also had a very similar read. मैंने भी जब read पढ़ी थी, at least at a high level, the company looked pretty cheap. My only issue was with respect to just the LM. I have seen these issues where Greatex is a good LM, but unki issues na, for some reason, whatever is cheap tends to get cheaper at, like in some of the cases, like I remember Paramount Ditech, I was very positive on. It wasn't a pure play vanilla textile company, right? But it was cheap according to my understanding. Then the market kind of crashed it, right? So that's my one worry, and especially considering so many IPOs together. I'm not sure, but again, at IPO price, I don't think there's a lot to lose, especially in the
Yeah.
current market. So I would be applying just for IPO. I would probably not chase at listing, but 11 साढ़े 11 के पी पे तुमको कंपनी मिल रही है, प्लास्टिक्स मोल्डिंग वगैरह कर रही है, मार्केट इज हायर, सो आई डोंट सी हाउ there is anything to lose at least at IPO price. So I would be applying for this issue, assuming I have money left, is how I'll kind of put it. Uh,
Also, Manish, I forgot few points. जैसे कि
hmm,
12.4 करोड़ का तो कैपिटल एक्सपेंडिचर कर रहे हैं वो to establish plant and machinery, infrastructure development, and other auxiliary equipments. So majorly they are trying to go into higher value products as well. Few negative points which I figured is 5% growth in FY24, 17% growth in FY25, revenue growth. EBITDA margins and PAT margins have also improved, but the majority of growth is led by improved material for them. So the COGS is going down. That is where the growth is coming from. Company has also faced few contingent liabilities. 57 lakhs का contingent liability है and 13 tax proceeding as well. और एक और बहुत बड़ा issue था which was the KMPs withdraws very high amount of salaries, almost 5 crores का salary withdraw कर रहे हैं every year. Also, जो भी इनके books पे plant and machinery है, their guest house and all is owned. The rest of it is leased. So these are the few points to keep in mind while applying as well.
got it. But yeah, again, I would be applying to this issue, assuming अगर पैसा बचता है तो I'll definitely consider applying to this issue. With that, we have kind of covered the second company, which is Sellowrap. Now we'll move forward and talk about the third company. The third company which I want to talk about is Shree Refrigeration. So let me just set up Shree Refrigeration. इसको भी थोड़ा सा इंग्लिश में करेंगे because Rohit will be covering it, but then we'll try and move to Hindi after this issue. We'll at least like try and do more of Hindi. So setting up the company, incorporated in 2006, companies engaged in manufacturing of HVAC systems, including air and water cooled condensing units, chillers, and spray damping systems. It serves various sectors such as automotive, marine, print, media, chemicals, pharmaceuticals, and general engineering. काफी ज्यादा hot IPO है, and there's just so much demand for Shree Ref, and it's a big size IPO. So let me just set up the IPO. एक बार IPO की बात करूँ तो 117 crores का SME IPO है, which is definitely big. 94 crores fresh है उसमें और लगभग 23 crores का OFS भी है. कंपनी जो 117 crores डाइल्यूट कर रही है वो 445 crores पे डाइल्यूट कर रही है. 445 crores की मार्केट कैप पे आ रही है बेसिकली. FY25 के फाइनेंशियल्स की बात करूं तो कंपनी का रेवेन्यू था 99 करोड़ और पैट था 13.5 करोड़. So company is coming at 33 PE, which is just insane when you think about it. SME raising money at 33. I think I have seen very few SMEs come at this valuation. I can't think of any for that matter. If any of you can remember, do post in comments which is any company which has came in at such valuations, at least on IPO price. In terms of the LM is Nanolia Financial. So उसके साथ let's just try and understand Shree Refrigerations. Although I understand it's a moated business, काफी अच्छा business है at a high level, so maybe it deserves the PE. But when you look at it from a high level, all I'm saying is that not a lot of raises I have seen at this PE. So with that, over to you, Rohit, to talk about Shree Refrigeration.
Thanks, Manish. There have definitely been SME raises at higher prices once you remove exceptional income or other funky kinds of other income. I've seen plenty of companies that come at 40, 50p, but it's all hidden. Anyway, let me cover Shree Ref. So this is a company that sits in this perfect intersection of two of the hottest segments. One is defense and one is HVAC, which is this air conditioning, heating, ventilation, air conditioning industry, which both of which get obscene multiples. So I don't know if this will get a sum of the two, multiplier of the two or what, but we'll find out, I guess, when it lists. So what these guys do is they manufacture chillers, refrigeration, and air conditioning appliances and many parts of this HVAC value chain. Now, the interesting thing is they mainly focus on marine chillers. These are chillers that would go on ships including Navy ships, warships, submarines, and so on. And they have a lot of those approvals and certifications that are needed to deliver to the Indian Navy, which is obviously the thing that makes this company special and provides that moat. So what are these? So the simplest way to think about it is the kind of air conditioning that would be used inside a ship or a submarine. You can imagine that the AC that you have at home is not the same as the AC that would be in a submarine operating, thousands of feet under the ocean. So apart from that, though, these air conditioning systems obviously have to cool the equipment, the warfare systems. All of those things need to be operating at some specific temperature. So the purpose of the cooling system is quite complex when you come into the specific applications of a marine, or either a ship or a submarine. And that is what is the IP of this business in terms of how they design, how they manufacture, and so on. So I'll try to explain what is special, at least from how I understand it. So there are two things. I think I mentioned the certifications. They have some 3 or 4 different certifications. What is the first one? It is the registration by the Directorate of Quality Assurance, the Warship project from the Ministry of Defense, which is, I think, valid till February 2028. And then they have one more, which is from the Directorate of Electrical Engineering, also Ministry of Defense, to supply very specific products, again, for naval shipbuilding. And there's a third one from the Integrated Headquarters from Ministry of Defense, again, to manufacture HVAC systems for defense. So they have 3 specific registrations and approvals, which is obviously not easy to get. It takes a lot of time, and it's one of the reasons why defense companies are valued the way they are. The second thing that is special about a HVAC system is that the way the cooling system is designed, you need to be able to do that not just with air, which is how most of our ACs work, which is air cooled, but you need to do a lot of seawater cooled systems as well. And they operate obviously very differently. They need to be able to take water from the ocean and use that in the system. The ships and the submarines might operate at different angles, different tilts. Obviously, if you're in a building, the building is in one orientation, right? It's always standing, whereas the ship is constantly moving. So they're very different. Plus, of course, it has to be water resistant at the end of the day. So there are things in the product itself that make it different from a traditional HVAC system, and not any HVAC player also can start doing this. And this has been a focus for this company for the last, I'd say, 15 odd years. They started, I think, by going more in the printing and the dairy industry, but at some point the promoter decided that he was looking for a break into a slightly larger industry. And then I think through a lot of effort, they figured something out, for the Navy. And that, I think, about 10 years ago. And that was the thing that triggered this business and sort of brought them to where they are. So if you look at their clients, they've not specified it, but it is very clear that Mazagon Dock is their largest client. I believe about 55% of their revenue last year, 40% of revenue in FY25, 55 in the year before that. They also work with GRSE, and I think these two together will make up 60-70% of their revenue. They did almost 100 crore last year with about 13% PAT. Not great growth year on year, but they have a very good order book of almost 160 crore. 230 crore, of which 160 crore has to be delivered in this year itself. I think 150 crore has to be delivered in FY26. If you look at their balance sheet, you will find it it would look very concerning from, from 30,000 feet, but it looks like it is just the norm with this industry. Every defense company has a very similar balance sheet. You'll see the receivables for this company is equal to its revenue. C2C had come some time back. I mean, I don't want to go too much into it, but it came with everyone questioning why their revenue equals their receivables. But it's exactly the case for this business also. And it was justified by the promoter that this is how the cycles work in this industry. It takes a lot of time to deliver, install, test, commission the product. And then there is, of course, the payment cycle, which happens even later. And as you can expect, there are horrible cash flows. It's some 40 crore negative cash flow for this last year. And that is the reason for the fundraise. So they're raising about 115 crore, almost all of which So there's a small OFS component. I'll just come to that. But all the fresh raise, I think 75 crore of that raise is just going to fund their working capital, which is essential for them to grow at least for another 1.5 to 2 years. So if you assume that they will do around 160 crore for this year, you can say that they should run 22 crore PAT, which is pretty healthy, and it will show the growth that is needed. Of course, this is a business where you have to continuously keep winning orders. So one of the concerns for me in this segment is that I feel that the market size of what they're doing right now is somewhat capped. I think the promoter tried to justify by saying there's some, again, I don't remember the exact number now, but I think he said 6 lakh crore worth of orders over the next several years for the Navy, of which 1% would be the HVAC system, which is about 6,000 crore over several years, which is maybe 1,000 crore, 1,500, 1,200 crore per year, let's say if it's over 5 years. So for this company, which is say 100 crore revenue business, for them to become a 500 crore, 600 crore business per year, they will have to, capture 50% of the market. So this is not a very large market if you just take the Navy business. And so I would like to see them get into, even if you look at the army as a whole, if you look at the FOs, if you look at the broader army, I think if they can start doing some projects there, use this to deliver products for them, that would give a lot of comfort on the size of the market. Otherwise, somewhere I feel their growth will be capped, because today 85% of their business is just the Navy, marine business. So the other, of course, is they can go beyond the Navy and go into just broader ships and stuff. That's what we'll have to see, some of that delivery. Overall, I was very impressed by the promoter and the founder, coming from a very small town called Karad in Maharashtra, which is where the factory also is located. You can see his passion across his interviews. He wants to bring, make manufacturing in India reliable, comparable with the global peers. And that's what they're proving by, winning orders against them at a far lower cost. And there's a very nice interview from 3 years ago on how they designed the first system. So I think it'll be a good listen for you guys also, if you guys are interested in this company. They're also a very, very strong board, full of people from the ex-army. I think the L&T head of defense also is on their board. So very, very well-built company so far. On the peers, now at least how to value this company. There are obviously no direct peers, but I've just tried to look at 3-4 other companies or 3-4 other segments where we can find some peers. So one is, there's this listed company called Kirloskar Pneumatic, which is a direct competitor, but a small part of their business is this. You will see their name in some of the tenders that these guys also bid for. So one of their largest components of businesses making compressors, which is one of the components that go into the chillers that these guys make, and is part of the HVAC system. But they clearly also do the entire end-to-end system, which is why they're competing with these guys. Kirloskar trades at around 39 times or 40 times, let's say. Then we have all these ODMs for HVAC systems who make retail air conditioning products, EPAC, Amber, and so on. They all trade at obviously 60 to 100x. KRN, which is a different part of the segment, heat exchanger space, trades at 100x with a huge capex story, but still it trades at 100 times. And then on the Navy focus side, you have an SME, CFF, which had come with an FPO recently. So slightly different segment, but they trade at 60x, and they're also a designer, manufacturer, integrator of a different component of this, which is fluid control and mechanical systems, again, for these kind of, for the same end use, which is for a submarine or a warship. So everyone in this space, except for Kirloskar, which obviously does a lot of other things, they do a lot of oil and gas segment and all, everyone trades in this anywhere from 60 to 100x. This company is coming at 33 times, which for an SME is expensive, but for the segment to me looks very cheap. Defense, though, obviously almost everyone trades at least 50 times, if not more. Very, very strong anchors, very strong pre-IPO. We had Ashish Kacholia with Bengal Finance, we had Shanti Fund, which is Mukul Agarwal's fund. To me, this looks like a blind apply 33x. It's that perfect intersection of two very hot teams. It's very likely that this will also open at 90%. Question is whether to buy at 60 times, whether there's every chance I feel, if I had to guess, I would say it would actually go up from there also for some time, but I think it will then come back to probably trade in this 50 to 60 range As you get closer to exit to the sort of the end of the year, or maybe H1 numbers, if they are strong, you might again see a bit of a run up. But I feel that 60x or so is 60 to 70x is a good range. So I'm not sure whether it is worth chasing. A little bit, you'll have to see the screen and stuff. But yeah, I'm, intuitively, when you see the business, see what they do, see their capabilities, see the promoter, see the investors, gives a lot of comfort that this is the kind of business that will get cornered and will do very, very well. Initially, there will be a lot of hype, and I would say deserved also because of what they have built and what they have done. And they've really, really brought stuff that we used to import till maybe 10 years ago. They have brought that in-house, made it indigenous. So kudos to them also. So if you can ignore the balance sheet, which is always going to be a problem, the rest of the business is top class.
But then cash flows are important, right? And like there needs to be some kind of sanity on cash flows, or like how does that change over time, right? Like, and maybe this is
Yeah,
it's a broader question. This is not really a Shree question. This is more of the complete segment question. So maybe I'm just going towards I'm chasing the wrong thread.
Yeah, we can't fight the market, yeah, beyond the point. If this company gets derated because of its cash flow, suddenly the entire defense market cap will fall by half. So, which is not going to happen, not overnight at least. So, the market is giving what it is for this segment because of obviously all the global conflicts that there are, for the difficulty with working with the government, with getting the right approvals, the years and years it takes to keep lagera hoing, to get your break and to make it big. It takes a lot of work, and that is what the market values. Now, 60x, 90x, they're all equally obscene numbers. So you just go with the flow. When it gets derated, this will get derated with it. Try and identify and get out. If it never gets derated, it could get derated further. Who knows? So, yeah.
So here's the thing, right? If something is at 80, then my bet is on it getting derated rather than it getting re-rated, right? But
Yeah, this is coming at 33 times, so you're safe. Like if you get it at an IPO, you're safe.
yeah.
If you get it at 90 on listing, I'm fairly sure it will go up. I don't know, but my gut is it will go up before it comes down. But I still think it will probably trade like a CFF, which is 55, 60 times. Is where, at least initially, it will come and stabilize there before it starts moving as it reacts to some. Like, for example, there was a tender which they had bid on, which was open 2 days ago. Let's say they win that tender and the order win comes a week or two from now. That's another, trigger which will again push the stock up. So it's very hard to tell for sure, but I think there is enough hype here that this will do well. And sorry, one more thing that I wanted to mention was there is an OFS component here, but the OFS is from one of the original investors, this IDBI, which is the Maharashtra Defense and something aerospace fund, which is a VC fund that invest in these kind of companies. We've seen them in Tech Era also and a few other companies. They are selling us part of their stake. So this is not the promoters taking any exit.
Got it. Understood. Helpful. I kind of still think that this is one of those hottest IPOs, very similar to, let's say, a Monarch, which you just need to apply and hope. And just hope you get something, although it would be difficult considering the current rules. But it's a decent size IPO, right? 117 crores. So I'll definitely be applying to this one. Rest all I'll work around. And I know it will be very difficult to get subscription, but then it's just worth it considering all the hype and deservedly so, right? Because the company is trying to build indigenous things, which we earlier used to import. So I like the story. I'll be applying. Honestly, I haven't read anything about the company. I read Brigade. So with that, maybe let me just go forward and move to Brigade's hotels. And this is a company which I know a lot of people wanted to know कि कल क्या करना है. So if you are here for Brigade, starts now. Setting up the company, it's a owner and developer of hotels in key cities in India, primarily across South India, and is a wholly owned subsidiary of Brigade Enterprises. Brigade Enterprises की subsidiary and hotel chains की owner है. The company has a portfolio of 9 operating hotels across Bangalore, Chennai, Kochi, Mysore, and Gift City with 1,604 keys. 1600 कीज है कंपनी के पास। एंड कंपनी जो है ये खुद से ब्रांड नहीं है उसका, ये मैरियट का, हॉलीडे इन का, इन सब के नाम से होटल चलते हैं और उनको रेवेन्यू शेयरिंग में कुछ तो शेयर जाता है। So those are the names under which the brands operate, but the property belongs to these people. Setting up the IPO, it's a 760 crore IPO, all of which is a fresh issue. 700 crore, 60 crore का IPO है. Market cap is close to 3400 crores. 3400 crores पे 760 crores कंपनी रेस कर रही है. और जो 760 crores है उसमें से just 10% retail है. So essentially just 200 CR is available for H&I plus retail. Rest all is QIB plus N+, which is like 75%. FY25 के फाइनेंशियल्स की बात करूं तो रेवेन्यू 470 करोड़ है, 470 करोड़ का रेवेन्यू है. पैट 24 करोड़ है, सो पैट इज रेदर लो, बट काफी सारे डेप्ट ये रीपे कर रहे हैं, सो मे बी दैट विल हेल्प विद रिस्पेक्ट टू जस्ट पेइंग ऑफ द डेप्ट component. I'm just rechecking just to make sure that I have the numbers right, which I have kind of noted down. Yes, it is. And in terms of the LM is JM Financial. So with that, maybe I will hand it over to Tanmay to talk about Brigade Enterprises. Over to Tanmay to talk about Brigade.
Is my voice audible?
Yes, sir.
So Brigade Hotel Ventures Limited. So in short form, I'll tell you BHVL. Okay, so मैं पूरा हर बार नहीं बोल पाऊंगा. So BHVL is a subsidiary of the listed Brigade Enterprises Limited, which is a $3 billion MCAP company. It's a real estate giant, which is majorly in the cities of mostly in Bangalore and in the cities like Hyderabad or some in South India. So BHVL is South India's second largest owner of chain affiliated hotels. It has a portfolio of 9 hotels with 1604 keys. So what I mean by chain affiliated is they have tie-ups with Marriott, Accor and Intercontinental. So these three are one of the world's finest global hotel management companies. So how these tie-ups work is, let's say Brigade is making 100 rupees. Around 4.5 rupees will be paid to these hotel operators as the fee to just manage and run the operations of the hotels, and rest 95.5, 95, 96 rupees revenue will be kept by the BHUL. Okay. So Brigade Hotels operates in upscale, upper upscale, mid-scale and upper mid-scale segment. So what does this mean? Ki, there are multiple segments in the hotel. So these guys are below luxury, but above the moderate range, which is your 5,000 rupees, 6,000 rupees, 4,500, 6,500, 7,000 per night. So this company is in that segment. So I'll just read out its 9 hotels ka portfolio. So they have 3 Grand Mercures, one in Bangalore, one in Mysore, and one is in Ahmedabad Gift City. They have 2 Holiday Inn Express, one in Chennai, one in Bangalore. They have 2 Sheratons, one in Bangalore, one in Kochi. One is an Ibis Styles in Mysuru and Holiday Inn Express Suites in Bangalore. So this company currently operates at an ARR, which is average room revenue is of 6,700 rupees and with an occupancy of roughly 77%, and the RevPAR comes at like 5,138 rupees, around 5,100 rupees. So the company is raising 760 crores, precisely 759.6 crores, out of which they'll be repaying debt amounting to 468 crores, and they'll be buying undivided share of land from the promoter Brigade Enterprises, tuning to 107.5 crores. And the rest 185 crores will be allocated towards unidentified acquisitions and unorganic initiatives and general corporate purposes. Mindwell, they have already raised 126 crore as a pre-IPO placement. And if you just check out the DRHP, the difference between DRHP and RHP, the debt repayment earlier was 485 and now that is reduced to 468, assuming that rest 27 crores will be repaid from the earlier pre-IPO placement. And if I just console the numbers, so another 100 crores will get added up in the acquisitions plus the GCP part. So if I just add it up, 485 crores ka debt repayment, 108 crores towards buying the land, and rest 285 crores towards acquisitions plus GCP. Now coming on its pipeline, which properties are expected to open in future. The company will be commencing two Fairfield by Marriott. One will be near the airport of Bangalore and another will be in Hosur, Bangalore. Okay, so these two properties they should get commenced in FY28 and FY29. The company is building one luxury hotel in Hyderabad, whose manager will be Intercontinental. The company is building one another luxury beach resort, which will be managed by Hyatt in Chennai, and the company will be building another one luxury wellness resort which will be managed by Ritz Carlton, which is in Vaikom, Kerala. So, and all these properties are expected to commence from FY28, 29, and 30. Okay, coming on its financials. FY23, the company did a revenue of 356 crores. EBITDA was at 114 crores. And the company recorded a net loss of 3.1 crores. In FY24, the company did a growth of roughly 15%. The revenue scaled up to 410 crores, 410. The EBITDA was at 144.6 crores and the PAT was 31 crores. Okay. So in FY25, the company did a revenue of 471 crores, which is like 16.5% kind of rise. EBITDA of 167 crores and PAT of 44.5 crores. Now, when you look at the PNL, it looks like 25 approx, but the company has, paid a deferred tax, kuch adjustment of what 20 crores. So if you just adjust that, the adjusted PAT comes at 44.5 crores. Okay. Now, before coming to its expected FY26 estimates, we will just talk on the valuations and then I'll come on the 26 numbers and why those numbers are extrapolated. So the company is coming at a MCAP of valuation of 3420 crores, okay, which is like 25.5 times FY25 EBITDA and 18 times FY26 EBITDA. Now, how this 18x is coming after doing the post-money EBITDA and then discounting the additional GCP money, which will be adjusted as a liquid asset, which will get a decrease from the overall EV. Now, why I feel that FY26 will be muted. The reason is very clear. I'll tell the numbers after this. So the company is not going to commence any kind of additional property in FY26 or even FY27. So whatever growth is going to come, it will be on back of two things. First, increase in the average occupancy. Okay, currently it is at 78%, and if I just break down the numbers, the company has commenced one IBIS in Mysuru in August or September of 24. So that that hotel or asset is running at roughly 40% utilization. If I just remove that from the portfolio is running at 80 to 81% utilization. So I feel this is, I guess, second best utilization in the industry. But there's an what we can say negative point towards कि यार यहाँ से बढ़ने का scope बहुत कम है. Generally, it's tough for a hotel operator to run at more than 85% or even 83% because आप कहोगे कि 100 क्यों नहीं जा सकता, because in some specific seasons the hotel run at 95% and in some specific seasons it runs at roughly 70%, 65%, 75%. So when you just console, it's very tough for a hotel operator or even a hotel owner to run that hotel more than 83, 84, 82%. So the incremental increase in the occupancy is not expected to go above 83% if I remove the IBIS. And if I just put in the IBIS, it should not go above 80%. मतलब क्या है कि 5-7% के ऊपर इनका expectation नहीं है to get that utilization up. If it goes till 85, it's well and good. Maybe FY27 में चला जाएगा. And the second, इनका ARR, okay, average revenue, वो जो है room का एक rate that industry wise increases by roughly 8 to 10%. जो it is for all the companies in the industry, be it in any segment. So yes, for sure, luxury increases at like 10 to 15%. This segment of hotels increase by roughly 5 to 8% approx. It's tough to go above 8% unless you want to change the whole ARR or the product mix. So if I just extrapolate all these numbers, it is very clear that company cannot grow above 14 or 15 or max 16%, which is the optimistic level. So 14-15% grow करेगा company. If I just put in that in the numbers, revenue जो FY26 है वो roughly 540-545 crore आता है. EBITDA, if I just put it like similar margins, I'll tell why similar and why not higher, or higher should not be more than 0.2 or 0.4%. जो नया मैसूरू का होटल है, that is into the mid-scale segment, which is the lowest in the portfolio. I won't say lowest, but second lowest. So that उसका थोड़ा सा कम percentage of EBITDA and the increase due to the operational efficiency. So that will get knocked off. और overall इनका EBITDA margin शायद 0.2-0.3%, मतलब 20 BPS के ऊपर नहीं जाना चाहिए. So just put in that a similar or 0.2% higher EBITDA, वो 195 करोड़ का EBITDA था, and on the back of debt repayment इनका PAT जो होगा वो around 75 crores हो जाएगा. So what I felt on overall company, अगर ये 18 टाइम 26 पे आ रहा है, जो 15% खाली ग्रोथ दे रहा है, ओके, इट्स कंपेटिटर, तीन मेन कंपेटिटर लूंगा मैं, while looking at their ARR, product mix, kind of business, kind of assets. So तीन major peers आएंगे. First should be APJ Surendra Park Hotels. Second should be Sami, and third should be Juniper. Juniper operates Hyatt. Sami has mostly Marriott's, and APJ has its own brand. But they are into similar kind of what we can say product mix. They have some, yes, they have Flurries, which is an F&B brand, but still overall उतना ही mix है. So APJ is valued currently at 16, 15, 16 times 25, and on forward it's like 12, 13 times. Sami is at roughly 17 times, 18 times 26, and Juniper is at, I guess, 15 times. So this is coming actually at a premium. If I just तीनों का मैं average करूँ, चलो, I'll not take APJ because market is not very kind towards APJ. Even if I do the average of Sami plus Juniper, it is at roughly 17 times. So already 18 times पे आ रहा है. And Sami intends to grow by 20 to 25%. Juniper intends to grow by 15 to 20%. So what I felt कि इनका ग्रोथ दोनों से रिलेटिवली कम है. I expect कि जेनिपर 17-18 का मिनिमम मार देगा, समी 20-22 का मिनिमम मार देगा, and this is, we are saying 15.5% should be on higher side, मतलब 14.5-15% करना चाहिए. So I felt कि the valuations are pricey at par, actually more than at par, and the IPO proceeds से इनका कोई valuation बहुत significantly कम नहीं जा रहा है. So my view on this company is very clear कि you invest in this company only with a view of more than 2 years. मतलब आपने 2.5 साल 3 साल अगर आप रखना चाहते हो इसको with a 15-20% CAGR returns, then only you should apply. Otherwise it is an avoid from my end. And अच्छी बातों की अच्छी थोड़ी बातें कर लेते तो the company is from Brigade. Brigade is a very reputed developer based mostly out of Bangalore, and they have good decent track record. They have made money for the shareholders in the longer term. One more very good thing regarding the company is the company has second lowest cost of borrowing of capital after Ventive Hospitality. Ventive I guess 7.8 है, ये कुछ 8.3 types पे. So this is second lowest. So and one more thing, इनका जब बाद में जो भी expansion आया of the new hotels, इसके लिए इनको debt लगेगा. And the company has clearly said कि अगले 16 से 18 महीने we won't need any additional debt, but for the next phase of growth or construction of the hotels, they will be needing another growth, so another debt. So उस time पे this lower cost of borrowing should help this company to put in the hotels at the right place. So अगर मैं देखूँ तो overall यही है. So I'll not be applying in this IPO. अगर I see very optimistic QIP तो I'll put some shareholder, because I don't see shareholder quota going more than 3 times. So अगर पसंद आए तो 4-5 लॉट रिटेल में डाल के 15,000 में टाइम पास कर लेंगे. बाकी आई एम नॉट वेरी इंटरेस्टेड इन दिस कंपनी. Disappointed with the valuations for sure.
यार 2.5 साल का विदर है, जनता 2.5 दिन जानना चाह रही है कि IPO लगाओ, दूसरे दिन अलॉटमेंट मिले, तीसरे दिन अलॉटमेंट आए, चौथे दिन सुबह बेचूं. That is the view people want to understand. But yeah, I have a couple of things to add. This is something which I read in a lot of detail, and this is something which I wanted to run by you, Tanmay. एक चीज, probably one of the very few companies in hotels which is net debt free. Debt free company, right? Because I know in hotels it would probably be a big deal, right? What I'm definitely disappointed by is just the growth. वो बोल रहे हैं कि 50% grow करेंगे over the next 4 years, which is very slow. But then Mainboard में it tends to be okay, right? Because companies की expectation इतनी ज्यादा नहीं होती है. And then 50% keys डालेंगे, and then उस पे if you think कि ARR ही बढ़ जाएगा, तो उसकी वजह से भी थोड़ी growth आ जाएगी. So maybe that is a good factor. But what I want to understand from your second thing is just the kind of float available in the market. 75% QIB है, right? And pre-IPO भी हुआ है. So एंड ऑफ द डे 74% प्रमोटर के पास है, 21% इंस्टीट्यूशंस के पास है एंड 5% रिटेल के पास है. Does that impact or not? And like, I know a lot of people are just wary of hotels and for the right reasons after Leela. We were also very bullish on Leela. It didn't do well. Right now the share is back to where it started, at least 5-10 रुपए premium पे ही है. But how do you see that impacting it? Honestly, I'm slightly confused. I like the fact that it is debt free. I like the fact कि equity raise छोटा है. Most institutions के पास है 5% ये retail के पास end of the day. So can do well, but I'm slightly confused whether to apply or not. Right now I haven't made a mind, but I think I will probably skip. What is your view?
So there are three parts to this, questions. I'll answer each one. Pehla hai on the debt part. So even after the IPO, the company will have roughly, I guess, 125, 130 crores of a debt. So इनके debt में भी दो part है. One is institutional debt जो बैंक से उठा है, और दूसरा है promoter push debt. अब not push, promoter से लिया हुआ debt. So ये institution का पूरा debt knock off कर रहे from the books. I guess 485 after the GC pre IPO वो knock off कर रहे पूरे debt books पे. If I'm not wrong 620 का कुछ debt है gross level पे. So उसके बाद भी डेट रहेगा 125. आई नो इफ यू जस्ट वो ग्रॉस और नेट में करो तो शायद नेट डेट फ्री हो आफ्टर द रिजर्व्स कमिंग इन फ्रॉम द जीसीपी. दूसरा अब पीजे सुरेंद्र इज ऑल्सो डेट फ्री कंपनी जो 13 टाइम्स FY26 में मिल रहा है मुझे, तो मैं 18 टाइम्स पे क्यों लेने जाऊं. और उनके दो होटल्स रिसेंटली खुली कोलकाता में, उनका बहुत बड़ा होटल आ रहा है. दे आर डूइंग लॉट ऑफ F&B विद फ्लरीज. वो टीएफएस के साथ भी बहुत सारे एक्सपेंशन कर रहे हैं द एयरपोर्ट. सो दैट कंपनी इज पोज्ड टू 20% प्लस. एंड रिसेंटली वी हैव सीन सम इंस्टीट्यूशनल इंटरेस्ट आल्सो इन इट. सो मुझे ये समझ नहीं आ रहा है कि अगर वो भी डेट फ्री, ये भी डेट फ्री, अगर वो मेरे को 13.5 टाइम्स पे मिल रही है विद ऑलमोस्ट 1.5 टाइम्स बिगर ग्रोथ, तो मैं ये क्यों लूं. एंड अनदर पार्ट इज ऑन द फ्लोट. Majority of Indian hotel companies had retail 10% in their IPOs because those guys have suffered losses in 22 and 23 due to COVID. मतलब कोविड में उन्होंने बहुत ज्यादा डेट लिया और वो 2023 में इवन आफ्टर होटल्स बीइंग ऑपरेशनल वो डेट का इंटरेस्ट कॉस्ट से लॉसेस में चले गए. सो Schloss has 10%, Ventu had 10%, Juniper had 10%, Sami had 10%, Surendra had 10%. Everyone had 10%, but none of them did well. I guess Ventu outperformed, Sami did well after 1.5 years. Juniper is still 20% below, Surendra is still 15% below. Chalet is doing well, but Chalet यार Raisa group है. EIH is an Oberoi group, तो वो तो अलग players है. Taj is absolutely in a different league. उसका तो कोई comparison ही नहीं. Kamath Ahmad is in a very low segment. And they have been growing just in like from last 6 quarters. So I felt कि ये कंपनी में एक ही प्रॉब्लम की वैल्यूएशन है. ग्रोथ तो 15% टाइप से है. इवन आई पर्सनली फील कि 14% ही करेगा. 15% शायद ऑप्टिमिस्टिक है, बट होपफुली दे विल डू 15% कंसीडरिंग दी अप्रॉक्स 6-7% ARR एंड ऑक्यूपेंसी में 5-6-7 तो ब्लेंडेड लेवल पे शायद कर दे उतना. बट वैल्यूएशन यार 18 टाइम्स 26. मुझे बताओ यार, अगर मुझे 20 टाइम्स पे मतलब 16-17 टाइम्स पे तो मेरे को वेंटो मिल रहा है, विच इज लाइक मच 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 बेटर कंपनी देन दिस. मेरे को स्लॉस मिल रहा है एट 18 टाइम्स 26 विच इज इनटू अल्ट्रा लग्जरी. 20,000 की AR की बात कर रही है, इनका AR 6,000 रुपए. सो आई डिड नॉट फेल्ट कि व्हाई दिस कंपनी इज प्राइस्ड. एंड वन मोर थिंग इज कि यार इनका जो प्री IPO है IFL 361 के पास पूरा प्री IPO था 126 दे हैव बॉट अनदर एंकर बुक. उनका फंड लाइफ खाली 1 साल होता है. We have seen what they have done in Northern Arc. डेली बेच रहे, हर हफ्ते में ब्लॉक डील कर रहे. सो आई फेल्ट कि यार मतलब कितना भी लिक्विडिटी हो वो इवेंचुअली आना ही है मार्केट में. तो मतलब company is not at all bad. It's a very good company, but not at an investor friendly valuation. So that valuation is only taking me down. And valuation premium भी है, let's say है, तो growth भी तो premium नहीं है. Growth actually lower than peers. So for that reason I am slightly on a negative end, but good bet for 3 years. अगर इसको लेना है तो 3 साल में फिर 50% बन सकता है, 50-70%.
Got it. Helpful. No, I kind of agree. Definitely, the next phase of growth will, at least in hotels, will come from luxury and not from your value hotel chain. So, luxury seems like a better segment because that is just growing a lot more faster. वो बहुत ज़्यादा grow कर रहा है compared to the value hotel retail chains. So, like Holiday Inn, IPOs, all of these are value players, right? Like as Tanmay mentioned, कि उनका room rent average around 6,000-7,000 rupees होता है. So If it is priced similar to a Leela, I would rather want to buy a Leela. I completely agree with you. Plus, उसको थोड़ा सा brand premium मिलना चाहिए, which again I kind of go back to, but I don't know what happened with Leela. But yeah, I would then avoid this company. I wanted to apply honestly, but it's just that the growth is not good enough for me, and the valuations are also not looking great. So I would probably skip tomorrow, apply everything day after, and then probably also skip the 30th Repono. That is the plan which I'll do. And then I'll see on 31st क्या करना है, whatever the IPOs are. उसके लिए हम एक अलग session करेंगे. So just want to highlight, if you're joined in between, हम लोग space जो ये है ये भी update कर देंगे. We'll put it on YouTube. But if you haven't joined our YouTube yet, the link is in the pinned comments. आप वहाँ पे जाके इसको like YouTube channel को subscribe कर लो. With that, let me just move forward and talk about the fifth company, and we'll just do it slightly faster. So if I can request Sachin to be slightly faster on this one. But setting up Patel Chem Specialties, incorporated in 2008, the company is engaged in the manufacturing and exporting of pharmaceutical excipients and specialty chemicals. Its essential chemicals are used in pharmaceuticals, foods, cosmetics, and industrial applications, serving as binders, disintegrants, thickeners, stabilizers, and gelling agents across industries. तो कंपनी बेसिकली फार्मास्यूटिकल एक्सिपिएंट्स बनाती है. एक एक्सेंट माइक्रोसेल करके कंपनी है, उसका पीयर लग रही है एट अ हाई लेवल व्हेन आई लुक एट इट. सेटिंग अप द आईपीओ, 59 crores का आईपीओ है, ऑल ऑफ विच इज अ फ्रेश इशू. कंपनी 209 crores मार्केट कैप पे, 60 crores 59 crores का डाइल्यूशन कर रहा है, सो डाइल्यूटिंग लाइक 30%. FY25 फाइनेंशियल्स की बात करूं तो कंपनी 105 crores का रेवेन्यू की है और पैट है 10.5 crores का, 10.5 crores का. तो वैल्यूएशन जिस पे कंपनी आ रही है वो है 20p. So काफी okay valued, like it is already covering a lot in terms of the value. And from what I understand, we'll talk about it from Sachin, but the next phase of growth would be slightly delayed. There's a gestation period we'll figure out. In terms of the LM, it has two LMs, cumulative capital एक LM है और Unistone एक LM है, so दो LM की कंपनी है. Patel Chemicals, Chemical Specialties. So with that, over to you, Sachin, to talk about Patel Chemical.
Am I audible?
Yep.
All right. So the intro part is done, so I'll skip to the other parts. So for Patel Chem, Mr. Bhupesh Patel leads the business. He is a chemical engineer with 25 years of experience. They have around 136 employees they have on their payroll. Currently, they also export to 15 countries, which is 24% of their revenues, which includes Russia, USA, Japan, Middle East, etc. 400 customers with almost 100% repeat orders. Clients include Cadila, Dr. Reddy's, ITC, Reckitt Benckiser, etc. They also have a US FDA approval for their Vatva plant, which received slight minor observation, but nothing too major. They also have a US subsidiary which supports stock and sell operations and enhances Patel Chem's market penetration. So their current revenue mix is diversified into carboxymethyl cellulose, 40% revenues, cross carbamylose sodium, 20%, microcrystalline cellulose, 20% revenues, and other chemicals are sodium starch glycolate and other chemicals. So a common example for microcrystalline cellulose could be your daily ice creams, and for carboxymethyl cellulose can be your eye drops, dry eye drops that we use. They mentioned that pharmaceuticals are 67% of their revenues, which majorly dominate their revenues. Food and beverages 12%, and the rest is industrial and cosmetics. Currently, they operate at 100% utilization at Vatva plant, 3,300 metric ton. Talod plant is at 720 metric ton, which is especially for microcrystalline cellulose. They are further expanding this Talod plant to almost 4,500 metric ton by January 26, which is fully internally funded. IPO proceeds, they are setting up a third facility in Mehsana for 6,000 metric ton, which will focus on high margin products like cross carbamylose cellulose and sodium starch glycolate. The gestation is long, 50% utilization in FY27, 75% in FY28, and probably 100% in FY29 and beyond. Not much issues on the receivables and inventory side. They don't have long contracts, but maintain a 60 days inventory. Coming to financials, they did 69 CR in FY23 with 8% EBITDA. changed the product mix in FY24, which resulted in 15% EBITDA in FY24 with 82 CR top line. Similar margins in FY25 with 105 CR of top line and 10% PAT margins. So price near 20 times. Both Accent and Sigachi trade in the same range, and they are targeting almost 20 to 25% growth in FY26 for the current year. So Accent and both Sigachi are largely dependent on microcrystalline cellulose, and Sigachi also faced a fire accident, but no major impact on the business yet. And both Accent and Sigachi work on co-processed excipients. Then Patel Chem, which focuses on performance excipients. So co-processed excipients combines multiple excipients, which in the end serve multiple functions, and they reduce development time, unlike Patel Chem. Both peers are now looking to enter into the high margin carboxymethyl cellulose and sodium starch glycolate as well. So that is one thing to note. So real growth I expect FY27 and beyond only. Coming to risk, it's high capacity utilization is a risk. The raw material this source is majorly domestic and dependent on minimal suppliers, plus something from China as well. Though they pass on price fluctuations to buyer, but this is one area that is hurting them. Similarly, 3 states dictate 66% of the revenues. So this means that unlisted players are available to cater to other areas. European manufacturers might come in sometime ahead, but nothing as of now. They raised around at 61 rupees per share in November 24 at 110 CR of valuations, mostly HNIs in that differential allotment, and now they are coming at 209 CR. So they have shown growth in this year and similar growth in the next year as well. Joint lead manager Unistone and Cumulative Capital. Unistone can be a hit and miss, so that is one thing. Cumulative has lesser issues, but nothing major on the downside. Now the anchor was surprising. Bengal Finance took 30% share, and one Venture X fund from Planify is also there. So decent steady state operations, not much IPO year dressing. Positive cash from operations as well. So, but the pricing is at par, so that is one thing there.
Got it. Thanks. Mera question also, Sachin, very specifically, is there anything which is different in the business compared to, let's say, Accent and Sigachi? And Accent will now start showing growth, right? क्योंकि उनका gestation period खत्म हो गया है, capex वगैरह हो गया है. So if anything, Accent should probably get a premium to this. Is that correct or is that wrong? So, like at a high level assumption.
All three are now trying to enter into MCC, CCS, and SSG, which are the high margin chemicals that they operate in. Now it depends on the capacity each has, and Sigachi and Accent lead in the capacity, and Accent's capacity is also coming live now, so they should get better multiples.
Got it. And this guy is trading at a lot of, like, at least the GMP is showing a significant jump, right? So maybe
Yeah.
at IPO price, it's a decent bet, and then probably look at it for short term, like listing gains and
Yes,
for the rest of a better.
GMP was probably after the anchor list was announced, when people saw that Bengal Finance took 30% share. From then only the GMP has risen and stayed there only.
Got it. So yeah, seems like one of those issues where you need to apply, hope to get allotment, and then leave while it is still in momentum. That's what I will be hoping to do. I'll be applying to Patel Chem. Most of my things are very simple. I'll be applying majorly for 29th wale issues and then probably seeing how to repurpose that money. But yeah, avoiding all 28th and 30th issues. But yeah, thank you so much for covering Patel Chem. Let's just quickly wrap up with one last issue. The last company we want to talk about is Shanti Gold, and I know a lot of people have been waiting for it. So let me just set up Shanti Gold. Incorporated in 2003, company is engaged in the business of manufacturing gold jewelry and is a B2B player which manufactures high quality 22 karat CZ casting gold jewelry, American Diamond Valley, specializing in design and production of the jewelry. इसकी एक लिस्टेड कंपनी एसएमई में उत्सव करके ये उसका parent at a high level from my understanding. But yeah, Tanmay can clear when he talks about it. It's a B2B gold jewelry player. setting up the IPO. It's a 360 crore IPO, all of which is a fresh issue. Company 360 crores raise कर रही है fresh at a market cap of 1435 crores, 1435 करोड़ पे ला रही है market cap पे. FY25 के फाइनेंशियल्स की बात करूं तो कंपनी का रेवेन्यू 1100 करोड़ है, जिसमें इन्होंने 56 करोड़ का पैड किया है. So 56 crores पे they are coming at like 28p FY25. In terms of the LM is Choice Capital. So with that, over to you, Tanmay, to talk about Shanti Gold.
आवाज ठीक आ रहा है मेरा?
Yep.
So Shanti Gold International Limited is a leading manufacturer of 24 karat CZ casting gold jewelry in the B2B segment for companies like Joya Lucas, Lalita Jewelry, Alucas Enterprises, West Raju Jewelers, Sri Kalpatru Jewelers. मतलब they have close to I guess 400 clients and मतलब इनका ये होता है कि जो clients इनको NO से मिला, नो ऑब्जेक्शन सर्टिफिकेट, उन्हीं का ये नाम आरएचपी में डिस्क्लोज कर सकते हैं, बाकी का ये नहीं कर सकते. सो I feel this company's clientele should be quite much vast than what I'm telling you, but in the RHP just these 5 companies are disclosed. So the company has operations in 15 states and 2 union territories. So I'll just give the revenue breakup. South India, they have 73% revenue. So Tamil Nadu contributes to 30%, Andhra Pradesh contributes to 16%, Karnataka contributes to 13%, Telangana contributes to 12%. The rest of India is 22%, and rest 5.4% is exports. So exports पे 2.8% is towards UAE, 0.45 USA, 2% Singapore, and 0.14 is Qatar. So they have a decent 5% kind of an export and mostly south focused B2B manufacturer of gold. So the company has a currently operational one manufacturing capacity in Andheri East. So that is like 13,500 square feet capacity, which has annual gold consumption capacity of 2,700 kilograms, okay, per annum. The company is setting up one another facility in Jaipur, which will manufacture another 1,200 kilograms gold per annum. The company has already got 3 letter of intents towards purchasing of that gold jewelry manufacturing in the Jaipur facility. So the company is eyeing expansion in north. That is the intention of the company towards setting up a unit in Jaipur. The company has 79 computer-aided design technology engineers, which make 400 designs per month. Okay. If I talk on the utilization, जो इनका अंधेरी ईस्ट का facility, that is at 58% utilization. So the company is raising 360 crores, 200 crores towards working capital, 46.3 crores towards capex जयपुर में जो मैंने आपको अभी बोला 1 मिनट पहले, 17 crore is towards repayment of debt, and rest 97 crores is towards general corporate purposes. The company has total 233 crore of borrowings, उसमें से 17 कम हो रहा है, मतलब IPO के बाद भी they'll have like close to 216 crores का debt. If I come on its financials, FY23, the company did a revenue of 682 crores, 19.8 crore ka PAT. EBITDA margin was 6.7%. FY24, the company did a revenue of 715 crores and a PAT of 26.9 crores, EBITDA margin 7.5%. FY25, the company did a revenue of 1112 crores, 1112 crores, and PAT of 55.8, and EBITDA margin was 8.8%. But, you know, more than the financials, we need to look at कि इन्होंने ये annually कितना gold consumption किया, because the gold का जो price है वो बहुत fluctuate. I'll tell the gold price and then the consumption. FY23, the company consumed a gold of 1,441 kilograms. उस टाइम पे गोल्ड एवरेजली 55,000 पर तोला था, सो 55,000 for 10 grams. FY24, the volumes reduced to 1,364 kilograms, which is like roughly 5-7% का deduction in the volumes का consumption per annum. So उस टाइम पे गोल्ड हुआ करता था roughly 65,000 for 10 grams. And FY25, the volumes increased by roughly 12-13% to 1,566 kilograms. But that time the gold was 90,000. तो अगर आप सो व्हाई आई एम टेलिंग दिस कि आपको वॉल्यूम ग्रोथ भी देखनी है, बिकॉज अगर आपका 100 रुपए का गोल्ड, लेट्स अज्यूमिंग गोल्ड एट 100 रुपीज, इट इज एट 130 रुपीज, तो वो 30 रुपीज का स्ट्रेट जंप इन रेवेन्यू, लाइक व्हेन वी एज एन इन्वेस्टर लुक यार 40% ग्रोथ कर दिया, बट वी नीड टू ऑल्सो चेक कि गोल्ड भी 30% बढ़ा, तो टेक्निकली इनका ग्रोथ 8-9% ही है एट अ स्टैंड अलोन लेवल. तो now how can we make its FY26 numbers? It's very easy. आपका करंट गोल्ड का प्राइस क्या है? ओके, सो दैट इज एट रफली 96,000. वो and the company is raising 200 crores of working capital. Now if you just look on its inventory days, okay, 46 days का inventory, मतलब इसका मतलब क्या है? ये वर्किंग कैपिटल का पैसा साल में 8 बार घुमाता है. ओके, 8 times it turn around its inventory money. So अगर मैंने 100 करोड़ एम्प्लॉय किया तो शायद एट ऑप्टिमम लेवल 800 करोड़ का रेवेन्यू कर ले उससे. इफ आई नॉट जस्ट डू की लेट्स से 200 करोड़ का इन्होंने वर्किंग कैपिटल के लिए रेस किया है, अगस्त के मिड में इनका एस्क्रो अकाउंट से पैसा निकल जाएगा, तो उसको कितना बार घुमा पाएंगे? रफली 3.5 गुना टाइप्स. ओके, सो इसका मतलब क्या है? द कंपनी इज पोज्ड टू डू 500 करोड़ रेवेन्यू इजीली फ्रॉम द आईपीओ प्रोसीड्स, जो वर्किंग कैपिटल के लिए पैसा रेस कर रहे हैं, तो 500 करोड़ वहां से, द राइज इन द गोल्ड एंड एक्सपेक्टिंग 10 to 15% राइज इन द वॉल्यूम्स. So इसके ऊपर if I just extrapolate and console all these three factors, FY26 में this company should do like roughly 1700-1800 crore kind of a top line. Okay, and PAT should be like roughly 80-85 crores. Now coming on its valuations, ये आ रहा है 1440 crore MCAP, 1440 crores का MCAP पे. So FY25 पे it is valued at 26 times. And FY26 पे it is valued at roughly 17 times, 1717. Now, one very important point in this whole IPO or company is ki the relationship between the listed Utsav, CZ Gold, कि सेम सेगमेंट में दो कंपनियां क्यों? बिकॉज द प्रमोटर ऑफ शांति गोल्ड, मिस्टर पंकज कुमार जगावत, ओन्स अराउंड, एंड हिज सन एंड गेस वन मोर फैमिली मेंबर, चारों मिलकर दे ओन क्लोज टू 60%, 62% इक्विटी in Utsav, which is a listed company, which also has like 600 crore of a top line. It's a large company. So there are two agreements, non-compete agreements. First is between Shanti and Utsav, ki Utsav will not go into Shanti segment. So what they'll do is कि वो लाइट वेट ज्वेलरी में ही काम करेगा, और जो हेवी में है वो शांति के बिजनेस में नहीं है. ऐसा इनका नॉन कम्पीट अग्रीमेंट. देयर इज वन मोर नॉन कम्पीट अग्रीमेंट बिटवीन उजुरी ज्वेलर्स प्राइवेट लिमिटेड एंड शांति, विच इज वन मोर थर्ड कंपनी ऑफ द प्रमोटर. दैट इज ऑल्सो इनटू लाइट वेट. अभी आई एम नॉट एबल टू अंडरस्टैंड कि उत्सव और उजुरी में डिफरेंस क्या है, बिकॉज द वर्डिंग इज एक्जैक्टली सिमिलर. बट एट this current point it's none of our business, because उज्जूरी और उत्सव में क्या है वो तो शायद उज्जूरी का जब आईपीओ आएगा तब पता चलेगा. बट एटलीस्ट शांति और उत्सव में एटलीस्ट इन दी लीगल पार्ट कोई नॉन व्हाट वी कैन से कॉन्फ्लिक्ट ऑफ इंटरेस्ट नहीं है, एटलीस्ट इन द लीगल टर्म्स. ओके, असलियत में क्या है वी डोंट नो. अब देखो यार, इसका ना 2 पीयर्स दिए इन्होंने, 3 पीयर्स दिए बेसिकली. फर्स्ट इज स्काई गोल्ड. स्काई गोल्ड FY25 पे अप्रोक्स 33 टाइम्स है और FY26 पे 20 टाइम्स है. सो बट इनका ग्रोथ भी 60% है. ओके, दे हैव ऑलरेडी गाइडेड फॉर आई गेस 34 करोड़ नहीं 64 करोड़ समथिंग का टॉप लाइन उन्होंने गाइड करा हुआ है. उत्सव जो इनका व्हाट वी कैन से एसोसिएट और सिस्टर कंसर्न है, दैट इज ट्रेडिंग एट 21 टाइम्स 25 एंड 13 टाइम्स 26. तो अगर आप इसको देखो तो ये इट इज कमिंग ऑलमोस्ट आई गेस 20-25% प्रीमियम टू उत्सव एंड roughly I would say 15 to 20% discount to your Sky Gold. तो ओवरऑल यू नो व्हाट, एंड मैं थोड़ा और चीज बता दूंगा. सो कंपनी का जो प्रमोटर आई हर्ड इज इंटरव्यू गेस 2 चैनल्स, प्रीटी डिसेंट प्रमोटर. सीएफओ आल्सो वाज क्वाइट गुड. एंकर बुक में फेल्ट की अच्छी हो सकती थी, बहुत तोड़फोड़ नहीं था एंकर बुक. इट वाज वेरी वेरी नॉर्मल एंकर बुक. Half anchor book was filled with like normal usual SME vehicle wale AIFs and all that. One interesting small name was Chartered Finance, which is owned by Madhu Kelaji. उनका 5 करोड़ का एंकर है इसमें. that was a what we can say the highlight of the anchor book. बस उतना ही था. और so what I feel, हाँ one more thing was कि trade receivables इनका FY23 में 102 करोड़ था, 23 में घट के 78 हुआ और IPO में 182 होगा, मे बी डोंट नो, लाइक मे बी साउथ इंडिया में आपको पता होगा. आई जस्ट लुक्ड एट रिसेंट आई लुक्ड एट दिस नंबर्स ऑफ दिस साई सिल्क्स कलामंदिर. आई नो दैट इज इनटू सारीज, बट उनका भी गोल्ड है. तो आई लुक एट दोज नंबर्स, तो समझ में आ रहा है कि इनका जो सीजन था फेस्टिवल से वो थोड़े से चेंज हो गए थे इन दिस ईयर. सो मे बी Q1 में जो Q4 का डिमांड Q1 में शिफ्ट हो गया, एंड इन द साउथ में दे माइट हैव यू नो ज्यादा उन्होंने बेचा होगा, एंड फॉर दैट माइट बी द ट्रेड रिसीवेबल्स हैव गॉन हाई, बिकॉज इनका आई गेस रिसीवेबल डेज एज लाइक 40 days ओनली, लाइक बहुत ज्यादा रिसीवेबल का इनका नहीं है. मतलब दैट इज अ गुड थिंग. इंडस्ट्री इज एट लाइक ऑलमोस्ट सिमिलर. अगर स्काई गोल्ड का कुछ 43 days का इन्वेंट्री, इनका 46 days का है, एंड रिसीवेबल जो इनका है दैट इज लाइक कुछ सिमिलर ओनली. तो बहुत ज्यादा डिफरेंस नहीं, बट आई फेल्ट की शायद 20-30 करोड़ से होता, शायद जस्टिफाइड था थोड़ा सा. 30-40 करोड़ से मेरे को रिसीवेबल ज्यादा लगा. देयर माइट बी सम टेक्निकल और वेरी जस्टिफाइड रीजन टू इट, बट मुझे नहीं मिला. एंड फॉर दिस इज नॉट रेड फ्लैग फॉर श्योर, इट इज जस्ट अ स्मॉल टेक्निकल कॉम्प्लेक्सिटी. वो शायद कुछ होगा उसके पीछे रीजन. सो व्हाट आई फील कि ऐसी कंपनीज जनरली ना यार, वो उनमें बहुत शॉर्ट टर्म में बहुत डिमांड नहीं आता, बिकॉज ऐसा नहीं कि बहुत सस्ती वैल्यूएशन. बिकॉज व्हाट आई नो इसकी पहले इसका प्राइस बैंड वाज एक्सपेक्टेड टू बी 160 रुपीज अप्रॉक्स. ओके, वो 199 हो गया. दैट इज इंक्रीज बाय 25%, just due to the good markets and maybe better demand, never know. So what I feel ki this company should be viewed with a view of like 3 months to 9 months or maybe longer term, but I at least don't expect much listing gains into this company. अच्छा कंपनी है, वेरी वेरी ग्रेट कंपनी. मुझे ओवरऑल पसंद आया. प्रमोटर्स वेर गुड. 2-3 स्मॉल थिंग्स, वो नॉन कम्पीट विद उत्सव इज अ थिंग. इट एक्चुअली इट्स अ सीरियस थिंग, बट they have made a legal agreement and most likely it will get honored. It will be honored, but valuations यार मेरे को मतलब frankly बोलो बहुत सस्ती नहीं लगी. 18 times, sorry, 17-18 times FR26 for a B2B gold. Not on a higher side, but not on a lower side also. There one more pair they have given, which is RBZ. RBZ चल रहा है 14 times 25 and 11, 10 to 11 times, और अप्रॉक्स 11 times 26. तो उससे तो फिर कोई तुलना ही नहीं है. दैट इज एक्चुअली इनटू दिस, आई गेस आपका बहुत स्पेशलाइज ज्वेलरी में है. वो थोड़ा पुराने तरह के डिजाइन से, उसके बहुत हेवी ज्वेलरी होता है. एंड दैट इज एट एक्चुअली वेरी लोअर मल्टीपल. उसका ग्रोथ इज ऑल्सो नॉट वेरी ग्रेट, बट डिसेंट है. वो भी कंपनी अच्छा है, बट इट्स एट एक्चुअली वेरी लोअर प्रीमियम्स, सॉरी मल्टीपल्स. तो व्हाट माय व्यू इज कि द आईपीओ इज वेरी स्मॉल. खाली 360 करोड़ का आईपीओ है. इतना छोटा सा इसका मार्केट कैप है. सो बिगर फंड्स विल नॉट बी टेकिंग मच इंटरेस्ट. जनरली 2000 करोड़ की नीचे की कंपनी जो कम इंटरेस्ट लेते हैं, जो बहुत बड़े फंड्स होते हैं, लाइक मिड टियर म्यूचुअल फंड्स टू गुड HNI इंडिविजुअल्स. तो आई फील कि दिस कंपनी शुड मूव आफ्टर लिस्टिंग. तो मेरा इसमें है कि मैं आईपीओ में अप्लाई नहीं करूंगा. रीजन बिंग, फर्स्ट अलॉटमेंट नहीं मिल रहा है. मतलब यार भगवान आपके पीछे खड़ा हो, फिर ही आपको इसमें अलॉटमेंट मिलेगा. वेरी वेरी स्मॉल आईपीओ अलॉटमेंट नहीं मिलेगा. सेकंड इज कि आई डोंट सी मच लिस्टिंग गेन्स. लाइक 5-10% दिख रहा है मेरे को. दैट इज ऑल्सो 5-10% इज आई डोंट फील इज अ बेटर रेस्टोरेंट, बिकॉज मेरे को कहीं और एक बेटर रेस्टोरेंट मिल रहा है, बड़ा आईपीओ एंड बेटर लिस्टिंग एंड अपॉर्चुनिटी. तो आई फील 5-10% के लिए मैं एकदम ही कट थ्रोट लॉटरी में नहीं जाना पसंद करूंगा. And I'll explore this company after listing. If I get it at IPO price or 5-10% lower or even 5% higher than IPO price. But if I'm able to make a allocation for a view of 6 to 8 months, 3 months, so I'll definitely explore this after listing. But IPO में I won't apply, and I personally see कि यार 5-10% खुल जाए, शायद 15% भी खुल जाए, but उससे ज्यादा I at least don't see listing gains. So overall, it's a good company. But I'll be evaluating this after listing. My IPO शायद apply नहीं करूंगा. Company is fantastic for sure, not a bad company at all.
So again, similar stories, right? Good company, but very like decently priced. Hasn't left a lot on the table. But yeah, before I
No, it's not like Brigade कि महंगा है, so I'll completely avoid. But I feel कि इसको listing के बाद देखूंगा मैं. मतलब this is like Oswal. Like I had a similar in Oswal कि भाई सस्ती नहीं है कंपनी, but मैं इसको IPO पे chase नहीं करूंगा. मैं इसको बाद में लूंगा. And
got it.
actually, I don't disclose, but I made some money in Oswal also. I made like 15%, very easy vanilla money in Oswal. So I feel कि this is also similar kind के listing के बाद का candidate. I don't see ये listing पे बहुत तोड़फोड़ list होगा. And this is from Choice Capital, okay? Last इनका प्रोस्टाम था, we see what happened. Actually, my view went wrong. उनका जो बेस का पार्ट था, I did I knew that all the story, like, during IPO itself, because I had visited the company. I'm saying it on record, but that market उसको बहुत सिर पे ले लिया and it went like crazy, डबलर हो गया वहां से. I'm not saying this will double, but mostly such companies जहाँ पे value है, valuation थोड़ा सा on higher side है, but थोड़ा सा euphoria they let it cool off. तो I feel कि ऐसी कंपनी लिस्टिंग के बाद ही चलती है. So आई विल बी वेरी हैप्पी कि अगर ये 10-15% खुल जाए. 15% से ऊपर तो मेरे को बिल्कुल एक्सपेक्टेशंस नहीं है. इफ इट डज मोर देन 15 आई विल बी कि यार, बिकॉज वो ट्रेन छूट जाएगी. 15% नो वन वांट्स विल इंटेंड टू बाय दिस कंपनी मोर देन 15%. सो आई फील 5-10% खुलेगी, बट एटलीस्ट मैं आईपीओ अप्लाई नहीं करूंगा मोस्ट लाइकली. फिर ज्यादा रिटेल डालूंगा, मिलना तो है नहीं. सो I'll be skipping the IPO, but I'll definitely explore this after listing. If I get it at my rate, I'll be buying it and giving it like 3-4% allocation in my portfolio.
एक क्वेश्चन है मेरा तन्मय. So you are saying Utsav is kind of a peer to this company, right? So even if I look away from the angle of why two listed companies with exactly the same business, because it is a conflict of interest, even if I look away from this, Utsav is in lightweight jewelry from that
Correct.
agreement, right? This guy is in like whole
Heavy.
weight, heavy
Actually, it should
jewelry.
get a premium.
So lightweight should get a premium, right? Because that is the
Yes.
bread and butter, right? कि वो फटाफट चलेगा, और जो नई जनरेशन आएगी उसको गोल्ड उसको ये, क्योंकि गोल्ड महंगा होता जा रहा है, they would want to move to lightweight and lightweight will move faster. So if anything, Utsav should be at a premium to Shanti Gold.
I knew that, and actually that was my another point. So उत्सव अप्रोक्स 12.5-13 टाइम 26 पे है. दिस कंपनी कमेंट एट 17 टाइम्स 26. तो दोनों में पैरिटी तो है फॉर श्योर.
So
बट
मैं
वही एसएमई मेन बोर्ड का मे बी द डिफरेंस इज, बट यार ऑनेस्टली स्पीकिंग दैट इज जस्ट अ थ्योरेटिकल एक्सपेंस फ्रॉम माइंड, बट देयर शुड नॉट बी मच गैप इन द वैल्यूएशन इज व्हाट आई फील. मे बी उत्सव सस्ता है या फिर शांति महंगा है. आई फील शांति इज नॉट महंगा बट नॉट वेरी चीप, समवेयर इन मिडिल. महंगा नहीं बोलूंगा मैं ऑल शांति को.
got it. And like the second question is what you also brought, right? I feel RBZ is a better peer in terms of like it's a B2B gold company with
करेक्ट.
some very little B2C presence at a high level. And if
हाँ.
for some reason it hasn't just moved. Like Rohit is bullish on that company. I was bullish. I left being
Even I
bullish.
was
Like,
bullish, and if you guys
give
know,
it
I
up.
had made like 15% in 11 session, then exited it. I
Maybe
had made one
there
money
is
in that.
some angle of CG in that. Like उसमें बीच में एक न्यूज आई थी, they had some fraud by an employee because of which the
हाँ हाँ.
share hasn't moved.
नहीं नहीं,
But
बट इवन आफ्टर दैट न्यूज इट नॉट फेल, क्योंकि ऑलरेडी मरा हुआ था शेयर. तो गिरने को कुछ था ही नहीं उसमें. ऑलरेडी फ्रॉम द डे वन इट हैज बीन वेरी अंडर वैल्यूड. और आई रिमेम्बर इसके साथ और एक कंपनी थी मनोज वैभव, वो तो आज भी 11 टाइम्स पे ट्रेड करती. सो उसमें दैट वो थोड़ा दुबई ऑपरेटर का एंकर, वो थोड़ा एंगल था. एंड इवन दिस कंपनी वाज स्पेक्यूलेटेड कि इसमें भी कुछ है ऐसा, बट एक्चुअली द शेयर होल्डिंग पैटर्न आई डिड नॉट गॉट दैट. बट मनोज में फॉर श्योर आज भी दैट गाय ओन्स लाइक गुड स्टेक दुबई बेस्ड. तो these both guys came together, both listed at par. दोनों चले 50-50% बाद में, बट दोनों बाद में लाइक बहुत ही बुरी हालत थी शेयर्स की. बट आई डोंट नो व्हाई आरबीसी डिसाइड मूव. बट ठीक है, मतलब पार्ट एंड पार्सल ऑफ द गेम.
एक और क्वेश्चन है मेरा. So and maybe there is an answer which I kind of understand, but this guy इसकी कैपेक्स अभी 56% यूटिलाइजेशन
करेक्ट
पे है,
करेक्ट
right?
करेक्ट.
और
50%,
फिर
56% इट इज डूइंग वन मोर कैपेक्स ऑफ लाइक
एक और
50% मोर
कैपेक्स कर
कैपेक्स.
रहा है जाके. इज
हाँ
द आंसर कि इसको नॉर्थ में ग्रो करना है? देयर
हाँ,
सम
दैट इज द
कि
आंसर.
वहां से बेचना मुश्किल है बिकॉज इट इज अ लाइक एक्सपेंसिव प्रोडक्ट, राइट? सेफ्टी वगैरह का एंगल होगा इन ऑर्डर टू सेंड फ्रॉम बॉम्बे टू.
नहीं, see, I'll tell you, Jaipur itself is a very, very big market. जयपुर में lot of jewelry consumption happens, and जयपुर में आप कर रहे हो तो इसमें देखो वही यार, लॉजिस्टिक्स ऑल्सो प्लेज अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट रोल. आप अंधेरी से आके फिर आप साउथ में बेचो, सच आप जयपुर में बैठ के जयपुर में बेचो, देन यू कैटर टू पार्ट्स लाइक दिल्ली हो गया, मतलब पूरा एनसीआर रीजन हो गया, पंजाब साइड हो गया, हरियाणा साइड हो गया, एमपी साइड इवन. तो जयपुर इज अ वेरी स्ट्रेटेजिक प्लेस, एंड आई फील दैट्स अ गुड मूव फ्रॉम फॉर द कंपनी. बट हाँ यार, 56% ऑनेस्टली कम है, लाइक 70-75 तो होना चाहिए था. बट आई फील दिस ईयर दे शुड डू लाइक 65, होपिंग.
एंड अगर ये नई जगह पे जाएंगे नॉर्थ में, देन दैट इज अगेन फ्रेश मूव, राइट? बिकॉज देयर विल बी प्लेयर्स हु आर सिटिंग देयर, राइट? उनके साथ फिर से कॉम्पीट करना पड़ेगा इन ऑर्डर टू गेन market share, right? Because and correct me if I'm not wrong, if I'm wrong, but let's say Pushpa Jewelers is big in Kolkata and is a B2B, right? And so similarly, there will be players around Delhi also who will be doing this, right?
नो देयर आर श्योरली, बट क्या है, साउथ का ज्वेलरी कल्चर और नॉर्थ में थोड़ा डिफरेंस है, नो. साउथ में द एक्चुअली एवरीवन हैज अ पाई, एवरीवन इज बिग इन एक्चुअली साउथ, बट नॉर्थ में थोड़ा सा व्हाट वी कैन से क्लटर्ड मार्केट है. तो वहां पे इवेंचुअली कंसोलिडेशन होगा, बट यार इवन दैट इज अ वेरी लॉन्ग टर्म होराइजन थिंग, बट आई अग्री उसमें भी कोई बैठा होगा. बट जयपुर इज अ मार्केट जहाँ पे हो सकता है, यू नो, बिकॉज जयपुर में व्हाट आई नो इसकी जो 3-4 रिटेलर्स आई नो, 2 आर लिस्टेड, 2 आर अनलिस्टेड. तो even someone like DP in your Madhya Pradesh. So all these guys are doing from third party. DP doesn't do complete, but let's say Moti Sons of the world, वो तो पूरा बाहर से ही करवाते हैं. पूरा 95% ज्वेलरी बाहर से बनती है, वो सिर्फ खाली रिटेल करते हैं. So to penetrate for with these players, Jaipur I know 2-3 another Jaipur आसपास वाला region, not exact Jaipur की. If this company like Shanti goes there ki say I am here, so these guys are going to get business for sure because these are organized. These guys have track record with working with very fantastic. यार ललिता में अगर आप नो ललिता, those guys who know Lalita, they knows कि वहां पे घुसना ही मुश्किल है. I'm not saying that is like a very big company. Yes, it is big one. बहुत बड़ा टर्नओवर है, बट जो मार्जिन पे काम करते हैं, बिकॉज वो कुछ आपका मेकिंग चार्जेस नहीं लेता है वो ललिता. इफ यू आर एबल टू क्रैक देयर एंड यू आर एबल टू मेक 6-7% पैट, सो इट्स एक्चुअली गुड थिंग. सो आई फील कि जयपुर के आसपास का मार्केट बहुत बड़ा है, विच शुड केटर फॉर नेक्स्ट 2 years ऑफ ग्रोथ. एंड यार अनदर यू नो वेरी कॉमन सेंस थिंग्स टू मी इज कि यार गोल्ड ही 30% ऊपर है, तो 30% टॉप लाइन तो कहीं नहीं गई. 200
अरे
करोड़ रेस
टॉप
करेंगे
लाइन का
उससे
क्या करूं
500-600
पटेल,
करोड़ हो जाए.
टॉप लाइन मेरा कन्वर्ट ही नहीं होगी ना बॉटम लाइन में, बिकॉज गोल्ड प्राइस बढ़ गया तो वो तो रॉ मटेरियल बढ़ गया, राइट? सो दैट हैज
नहीं
जीरो
नहीं वो तो पास ऑन होता है ना. नहीं
इम्पैक्ट.
नहीं दैट इज एक्चुअली हेज्ड बाय द नेक्स्ट डे इन्वेंट्री, तो
हाँ,
वो पास ऑन हो जाता
आई
है.
एग्री, बट उसमें मेरा पैट मार्जिन नहीं बढ़ेगा ना, मेरा कॉस्ट कॉग्स बढ़ गया.
पैट नहीं बढ़ेगा.
हाँ,
पैट
तो
पैट आई
टॉप लाइन
फील
तो बढ़ा
शुड
दोगे
बी,
तो टॉप लाइन का इश्यू
मतलब
नहीं है,
आई टेल
बॉटम
वन
लाइन का.
थिंग इन दिस होल सेगमेंट की P2P ज्वेलरी में आपका पैट मतलब 5.5% के ऊपर हो ही नहीं सकता, अनटिल आप बहुत ही एकदम ही यू नो मुगल आजम वाले ज्वेलरी बना रहे हो 1550 वाली. 5.5% के ऊपर पैट हो नहीं सकता. जिसका है वो एक तो कुछ अलग ही धंधा कर रहा है, एक तो वो गलत है. तो ये अगर 5% पे बैठा है तो ये 5.5 के ऊपर जा ही नहीं सकता. दैट इज अ वेरी वेरी दैट इज एन इनएविटेबल थिंग. तो इधर गेम सिर्फ वॉल्यूम्स और टॉप लाइन का है, इधर पैट ग्रोथ EBITDA ग्रोथ का है नहीं. बिकॉज आई फील आई गेस दिस कंपनी इज ऑलरेडी एट, इफ आई एम नॉट रॉन्ग, 8.8% EBITDA. यार यू नो इवन इन दिस इंडस्ट्री 8.5% इज नॉट वेरी इजी टू मेक. 8.8% है तो तो आई डोंट नो कि बॉटम लाइन इसका सिर्फ लाइक लेट्स से 1500 करोड़ टॉप लाइन फॉर एग्जांपल बन गया तो 75-5% के हिसाब से पैट वो 75 का भी 90 नहीं हुआ, बिकॉज बॉटम लाइन और EBITDA पे कैप है, बट टॉप लाइन हैज नो कैप. सो वही है अभी की सिमिलरली प्रोपोर्शनेटली. बट एक और चीज है कि यार आपका कैपेक्स आएगा और डिप्रिसिएशन कॉस्ट आएगा, सो मे बी दैट जो 5.5% प्रोस्पेक्टिव मार्जिन 5.3% बन रहा था वो शायद फिर से 4.8 5.1 पे नॉर्मलाइज हो जाए. दैट इज वेरी ऑब्वियस, नथिंग न्यू इन इट. सो पूरा टॉप लाइन का गेम है एंड आई फील कंपनी इज वेरी गुड. महंगी नहीं है ना सस्ती है, समवेयर इन मिडिल 6 on 10 ऑन वैल्यूएशन. तो आई गेट लिस्टिंग के बाद यार आई फील मतलब इसमें शायद 5-10 दिन सेटल हो जाए, उसके बाद शायद ट्रैक्शन मिल जाए इसको, बिकॉज एंड ऑफ द डे यार रियल
एक
स्काई
एक
गोल्ड
और
के बाद
क्वेश्चन
सेकंड
है
लार्जेस्ट
यार.
कंपनी है.
अरे वो
हम्म.
अंडरस्टैंड, बट जैसे हम बोलते हैं स्मार्ट वर्क्स, लाइक मैं बोलता हूँ यू हैड डिफरेंट व्यू ऑन स्मार्ट वर्क्स, बट आई वाज लाइक व्हाई नॉट बाय ऑफिस. सिमिलरली द आंसर इज व्हाई नॉट बाय उत्सव और शांति, सेम प्रमोटर है, राइट? सो यहाँ पे तो वो भी नहीं है
Correct,
कि
correct.
लाइक प्रमोटर अलग है तो उसकी कुछ अलग मिले, इट्स द सेम थिंग, राइट? सो
And actually they have one another company Uzuri, वो तो
विच इज
actually when I read आरिश में मेरे को पता चला थर्ड
हाँ,
कंपनी भी. I
मेरे को भी
didn't
नहीं
know that.
पता था, मेरे को भी नहीं पता. सो आई वाज वेरी कंफ्यूज कि यार ये सीधी इशू है बेसिकली कि व्हाई डू द टू कंपनीज विद द सेम थिंग एंड उसके बाद नॉन कम्पीट कर रहे हैं. नाउ यू आर सेइंग कि थर्ड कंपनी भी है, सो दैट
और
देन.
थर्ड और सेकंड एक्चुअली सेम है, सेम बिजनेस है. और उनका कुछ देखो, वो जब थर्ड कंपनी का IPO होगा तब की वो बात वो बहुत ही ज्यादा कॉम्प्लेक्स इशू हो जाएगा, बट एटलीस्ट वो अपने को दिख नहीं रहा है. बट यार एंड ऑफ द डे अगर तुम्हारी दो, एक लिस्टेड एक अनलिस्टेड है, जो ग्रुप कंपनी है वो सेम में है और दोनों का अपना मतलब शांति एज कम्पीट नॉन कम्पीट विथ उत्सव, शांति एज नॉन कम्पीट विथ उजूरी, बट उजूरी डजंट हैव नॉन कम्पीट विथ उत्सव. तो ये थोड़ा सा है मतलब गिमिक तो है.
Somehow I am not getting that much confidence.
बट
And then there's one
वन
question
गुड आई
which I
से कि दोनों में रिलेटेड
like
पार्टी आई
about
गेस बहुत ही कम है कि 1.5-2 करोड़ का रिलेटेड पार्टी. सो एटलीस्ट ऑन आरपीटी साइड
Got it.
इट्स डिसेंट,
Okay.
मतलब उधर दिक्कत नहीं है।
Got
मेजर
it.
क्या होता है जहाँ पे
Got it.
असली वाले इश्यूज होते हैं ना कि भाई यहाँ का वाकवा शेयर ज्यादा बुक कर रहा है तो वहाँ पे आरपीटी दिखता है, यहाँ पे नहीं दिख रहा है। आई फील व्हाट आई कैन रिमेम्बर,
Got
उसको
it.
खाली 1.5 करोड़ का कुछ आरपीटी है। सो दैट इज वेरी, अगर 15 होता स्टिल आई वुडंट हैव माइंडेड।
Got
तो
it.
एटलीस्ट
And
वो
then
नहीं है।
one more question, and this is something which I'd seen in the morning with respect to the number of employees in the company, which is just unusually low for the kind of revenue that the company has.
ये
Did
कारागिर्स
you
वाला
see
बिजनेस
that?
एक्चुअली, दिस वाज सेम इन वन मोर अनदर कंपनी। वो आई गेस उसका आईपीओ आएगा, आई वाज इन टच विद दैट कंपनी। तो उधर एक कम कम इसमें बहुत काम कर लेते, खुद कंपनी के खुद के कारागिर्स होते हैं। एंड एक्चुअली दिस इज मोर इनटू, दैट इज अ नॉर्थ ईस्ट वाला साइड का कंपनी वो थोड़ा सा। तो एंड वन कंपनी यू नो दैट आई वाज इन टच विद दैट कंपनी। सो इनका कारागिर्स प्लस खुद का कहते हैं ना कंपनी के खुद के जो ये बनाते हैं ज्वेलर, तो उन दोनों का ब्लेंडेड होता है। जो आपको ऑन पेरोल दिख रहे हैं वो खुद के, बाकी का जो 0.2-0.3% ऑफ द वॉल्यूम लेके जाते हैं वो कारागिर से भी बनवाते हैं। तो आई फील इनका वो भी होना चाहिए। आई गेस नंबर है कि नहीं आरएस में, डोंट नो। आरएस पे खाली 350 पेज का है यार। आई डोंट नो इतना छोटा आरएस पे क्यों है इसका, बट ठीक है शायद उसमें वो नंबर है कि नहीं। आई नीड टू चेक, मे आई मेक फाइनल वर्डिक्ट टुमारो, शायद मैं उसमें वो डाल दूं। बट अभी मैंने तो आई हैव रेड लिखा हाफ ईयर से, मेरे को तो नहीं मिला वो नंबर कि
Got
कारागिर से कितना है खुद के एम्प्लॉय से कितना है। और मे बी शायद वो मिलेगा अभी नहीं, एंड व्हाई विल कंपनी पुट इन दैट नंबर।
Got it. Got it. So I somehow don't not getting the vibe with respect to these questions. So I'll also probably explore after listing. But then a lot of these companies go away, right? Like अगर अपन सबको ही हमने ब्रिगेड नहीं कर रहा, शांति नहीं कर रहा, सेलो रैप नहीं कर रहा, सो जस्ट 2 SMEs एंड उसमें कितना ही मिल जाएगा अलॉटमेंट, राइट? सो आई माइट स्टिल अप्लाई टू शांति गोल्ड विद अ व्यू ऑफ पोस्ट लिस्टिंग, लाइक इट माइट रन पोस्ट लिस्टिंग
यार
इज व्हाट माय
मिलेगा नहीं ना,
व्यू।
प्रॉब्लम वो है। मतलब लगाना तो मुझे भी, बट मिलने नहीं वाला। सो आई एम थिंकिंग कि वो मैं किसी और जगह पे एम्प्लॉय करके उसको लिस्टिंग के बाद शायद
हाँ,
सस्ते में या फिर
क्वेश्चन
एट
इज
पार प्राइस
कहाँ,
पे ले लूं, शायद
क्वेश्चन इज
5% ऊपर
कहाँ।
भी ले लूं अगर मेरे को अलोकेशन मिला तो।
अरे बट क्वेश्चन इज कहाँ लगाएं, लाइक यू हैव श्री एंड पटेल कैम,
हाँ तो
राइट? बट
श्री में वो ऑनेस्टली बोलो यार, तो अलॉटमेंट तो नेक्स्ट वीक भी नहीं है। एनएसडी आदित्य की अपन बात कर रहे हैं, अलॉटमेंट तो उधर भी नहीं है। आई नो दैट, बट यार ठीक है, उम्मीद पे दुनिया कायम है। दैट इज द स्टफ।
गॉट इट, गॉट इट, या
इट
बट
इज वन
इट्स
मोर
बीन
वन
अ
मोर
गुड
वन मोर
सेशन।
वेरी गुड मेन बोर्ड। मतलब आदित्य इन्फोटेक और एनएसडीएल का जहाँ पे पब्लिक की नजर नहीं आई, फील वहां पे आई एम लाइकिंग दैट कंपनी क्वाइट वेल।
Got it, got it. Yeah, with that, we are kind of
They have
uh,
yes
towards
one
the close. Yeah,
uh,
Sachin, you had something to add.
100 contract employees Shanti Gold.
Just 100 employees.
Yep.
दैट इज दैट इज ओके।
Apart from the 225 on payroll, so 100 are there which are on contract basis. So nothing
Got it. So
nothing in that
basically,
one.
325 employees, मान सकते हैं अपन, but still like doing 1300 CR through 320. But I'm assuming इसमें काफी unorganized sector भी होगा somehow. So I'm not looking that much into it. I don't think that's a big problem. क्योंकि वो unorganized sector है, that's how it works, right? I'm not sure how it works, but yeah, I'm kind of looking to
आई टेल यू
over.
वन थिंग, ये थोड़ा से जो कहते हैं ना कोलकाता साइड की कंपनीज होती है या फिर नॉर्थ की कंपनीज, उनसे तो यार इनका सेटअप बहुत बेटर लगा मुझे। नो जो B2B में चलता है ना, इन रियलिटी एक्चुअली दैट्स अ डिफरेंट लेवल, डिफरेंट वर्ल्ड का बिजनेस। बट वो दिक्कत वाली बातें नहीं दिखे मुझे। एटलीस्ट मेरे को क्लीन लगा,
I
मेरे को
I
मतलब
agree. I
लिटिगेशन
agree. I
नहीं
remember
है, टैक्स कुछ नहीं है, प्रमोटर मेरे को
Utsav
अच्छा
is a,
लगा।
yeah, Utsav is a old listed company, right? और जब उत्सव आई थी तब मैंने देखा था they had ads with Karishma Kapoor for Utsav. So it's a old listed, like the player has legacy, the promoter is
बहुत
old in the
पुराना नहीं है।
industry.
आई फील कंपनी इज वेरी ओल्ड, बट आई गेस उत्सव इज ऑल्सो लिस्टेड लाइक आई गेस 1.5 year इन द एसएमई
हाँ,
सेगमेंट। बट
but
हाँ,
Utsav had
दैट हैज गॉट अ
ads with
ट्रैक रिकॉर्ड
Karishma
एटलीस्ट।
Kapoor like 10, 12 years ago. So they have been in around. I would still read more in terms of just to understand the relationship between Utsav, Shanti Gold and Hazuri and then take a decision. But I'm thinking I'll apply and test my luck. But I'm not expecting a lot of listing gains as my view is very
कितना
similar to
बेट है?
them.
5-10%, 15%?
देखते हैं. What we can tend to get is what my view is. Rohit, do you have anything to add, or we can just wrap up the space in the next 2 minutes?
Let's wrap up. It's late.
It is late, I agree. It's been a 2 hour long session. But yeah, it's very good to see all of us back together. Yash has went away after doing his one small company, cameo the announcement. But yeah, with that, we'll close the space. We will do a part two where we will talk about 5 main boards. We'll start with Aditya Infotech, which is CP Plus. We'll talk about Lakshmi India Finance. We'll talk about Sri Lotus, MNB Engineering, and NSDL. NSDL is something which a lot of people would be waiting for, and then we'll try and see if we want to do any SME raises as well. Connects is one which is big from my KTEX is one which is big. Then BD Industries is big. We'll see what we want to do for next. We'll definitely not be doing Monday issues of cashier drive, etc., or Tuesday issues of fly SBS. We'll do them over the weekend. Aram se. But yeah, we will do one where we'll definitely do the 5 main boards and we'll take what we can. With that, thank you so much everyone for joining. Just one thing, I will update the space and put it tomorrow morning. So bear with me while I put the space on YouTube. Kal morning mein aayegi, na? Thank you so much, guys. Have a good day. Bye.
And I'll tell one thing, यार मतलब I feel everyone is running towards Aditya और NSGL और Fly Space यार, बट कुछ चीजें हैं मतलब, और उससे नीचे चीजें जो बेटर है, जहाँ पे अलोकेशन मिल सकता है, मतलब एटलीस्ट इन द HNI पार्ट, क्योंकि रिटेल तो 10% है, उसका तो शायद ना मिले, बट एटलीस्ट देखो थोड़ा सा, नो दैट इज ऑल्सो गुड कंपनी.
We'll talk about it on Tuesday. Let's see. With that, thank you so much everyone for joining. Have a good day. Bye.
Thank you.